Eagle has a wide selection of products to fit every season. Eagle also has the powerful wet-dry vacuum and pressure washer to make your cleaning and lawn care a breeze.
We're more than repairs. We're more than mowers. The Lawnmower Hospital.
Some deals are too good to be real. Not at Tim's. For just $8.99, get a hearty loaded wrap with wedges and a Coke. A real meal. And for $8.99, a real deal. Try it at Tim's. Plus tax. At participating restaurants in Canada for a limited time. Terms apply.
Running a business is tough. Finding new customers shouldn't be. Stop chasing leads. Let them come to you with Stingray, offering you access to more digital, outdoor, and traditional advertising platforms, including radio, connected TV, search and social, programmatic, digital advertising, and digital out-of-home. So while you're closing the next deal, Stingray is working for you to deliver more leads, more customers, more sales. It's that easy. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com and always be closing.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Carlson moves it over. Shot by Coach Avery. The Ducks finally are
On Sports 1440.
going to slow Bill James. Oh, LeBron James, 41 years old, throwing it down.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
They traveled about an hour away from Oxford. All for this. They belong. That's Miami moments.
What a thunderous Thursday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports 1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show, man. If you are a basketball fan, or maybe if you're just a basketball fan for a day, the start of March Madness is always one of the more entertaining days of the year. And we'll talk a little bit about that, especially if you like upsets, because if you like upsets, oh, man, I know it's only halftime, but I know here in studio, we got a few guys who have picked Duke to win their bracket. And Duke is down by 11 at the half. And you know what's funny? I don't even know why I don't like Duke, but I have no real reason why. I can't remember like one specific reason. I'm just like never really cheered for them. Probably because they were good and it was like, tired of Duke being good. Might have been it. But dating way back, it's kind of like I've forgotten why I dislike them, but I don't like them. So I've never picked Duke to win. Now they could easily come back and win this. I have them winning 2 games and then they were out for me. So, hey, that would be a little bit of a bracket buster, but I know there's lots of people, including Connor Halley, including Declan Kruger, and probably many of you who had Duke in your bracket. So you'll be watching with a little nerves. Now, there's still a whole half to go, which is 20 minutes, of course, in basketball, in the NCAA. And we'll see. So should be fun, Connor Halley, to see how it goes for you today. Little nerves. You could be out of your pool before it even begins.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm questioning a lot of things right now. I took Ohio State to beat TCU. Anyone who knows me, my favorite athlete of all time, LaDainian Tomlinson, went to TCU. Why did I go against them? That's how much thought I put into these brackets. It's not the deepest analysis. But yeah, I was looking it up. Christian Laettner, you've had a good reason to hate. JJ Redick, Shane Battier, Boozer, I believe, went there. There was a guy recently that was just fouling everybody. Grayson.
Oh, yeah, Grayson, yeah.
Allen, yeah.
Grayson Allen.
Like, they've got a lot of guys who you can hate. And there's a little bit of I don't know the proper term for it. Arrogance. There's something to the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I picked them to win it all, and I'm not panicking yet.
Okay.
Lots of ball left.
So, like the 8-9, I'll be honest, I tried to do a little research in it, but it's never much. I always, even though I know last year there was one, but I always pick a few 12-5 upsets. And I think I picked 2 this year, if my memory is correct. And there's some teams, again, you have no reason why, but I'm like, I don't like that school, so I don't pick them. And now I don't even know, because I was down at the Order. I will say we have Matthew Tkachuk interview. Oiler fans are going to love the first part of his interview and then be annoyed maybe by the second part of it. Not that it was even that bad, but the first part, I think Oiler fans are going to be like, what? This POS is saying nice things about my team? I don't like it. But that's what happened today from Matthew Tkachuk. And all you got to do is look at the Florida Panthers. So they're banged up. No Barkov, no Reinhart, no Marchand. Last game in Vancouver, Mikkola didn't play. Osterinen didn't play. Evan Rodrigues didn't play. Guess what? They come to Edmonton, the team they've played in the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. And guess what? All the veterans are playing. Mikkola's back in. Rodriguez in. Osterinen's in. All the healthy guys are in. And also, you know who else is in? The local guy. Michael Benning, who, of course, made his NHL debut with the Panthers a week ago. And now he's going to play in his hometown. Of course, younger brother, a former Oiler, Matt Benning. Of course, their father, Brian, also played in the NHL. And, man, that's a pretty big thrill. So talk to Mike today. He's obviously excited, right? He's been biding his time in the American League. Like a lot of players, it's not an easy trip to get to the National Hockey League, right? And now Matt's a young guy. He's 24 though. Or sorry, Mike's 24, just turned 24 in January, and obviously knows Matt Savoy. So they're that'll be fun. Two guys who know each other. They're really good friends with his older brother Carter, and played for the Crusaders. Then, of course, went to University of Denver. And this is his third year in the American League with the Charlotte Checkers, and gets the recall. So good for him. This will be his fourth NHL game tonight, playing in Edmonton. So he was talking about some of his favorite Oilers growing up, because he's a kid here. He when he was very young, he was like, "Hey, I was a big fan of Pronger," but he goes, "I was pretty young." And then in kind of when he got to be teenager, he was a big Justin Schultz fan. And obviously his older brother, watching Matt play for the Oilers. So Mike wasn't sure how many family members and friends will be there, but he said quite a bit. He was joking. Yeah, I would know Brian will get off his wallet and at least buy his own seats. So that's good. So Brian and Carolyn, obviously, it's a thrill. You're proud for your kids, and kind of unique to have two sons in the National Hockey League. So he'll be playing his fourth NHL game tonight for the Panthers. Gets right into the rivalry, and instantly Oiler fans are like, "We don't like you because you play for the Florida Panthers." That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes when it's one of your biggest rivals, no question. The Oilers lineup changes. There could be one. Kasperi Kapanen is ill. Robbie Yarventi has been recalled on an emergency basis, just like Max Jones is up on an emergency basis. Szymanski's up on an emergency basis. Now, how does that work? That means that technically the Oilers still have 4 recalls. Now, if the Oilers got to a point where they would have an extra body who was healthy, then you're not an emergency recall anymore. That's just how it works. So, some of those guys will lose their status. Also know that this year the rule changed. You're now allowed 5 recalls after the trade deadline. Doc was the first one, because remember, he went down and then he came right back up. So he was 1. They technically still have 4 remaining. So Yarventi, if Kapanen plays, Yarventi won't play, and he'll be loaned back right away to the American League. I would think he's probably going to play. Maybe. You never know. Like maybe Kapanen is feeling better, but there's always the risk if a guy's a little sick and then he comes in, that spreads around the room. So we'll see how Kapanen's feeling, but you might see Yarventi. The Oilers also having some line changes today. And we saw this last game, so this isn't a surprise if you're watching last game, because basically they wanted Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and Dickinson as the centers down the middle. And that's what they're going to do tonight. So McDavid will play with Savoy and Podkolzin to start. Nugent Hopkins is going to be with Hyman and Roslovic. Then you have Szymanski and Dickinson, and it's either going to be Kapanen and Yarventi. And then you have Jones, Frederick, and Henry. Now, maybe Yarventi plays with Dickinson. Maybe they move Frederick up. We'll have to see kind of what that line combination looks like. But your top two lines are going to be McDavid and Nugent Hopkins centering the top two lines tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Coming up on the show, Landon Ferraro will break down the games. We got David Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor. Alex Adams will join us as the Eastern Conference playoff race, man. There's lots of games. Last night, games, and right now, everybody's going to overtime. Look at all the overtime games. 26.9% of the games are going to OT right now. On pace to have the most games in NHL history, which of course only is in the salary cap era, that have gone to overtime in a season. The record is 307. This year, there's already been 282 games that go to overtime, and then some of them go to shootout. Obviously, some get solved. And last night, 4 out of 6 games needed extra time to get a winner. The Devils and Rangers weren't one of them. Then you had the Penguins and the Hurricanes in a wild game that ended up the Hurricanes winning in overtime 6-5. Capitals, man, they put a big dent in the playoff hopes of the Senators with a 4-1 win. Sens were all over them in the first period, hit a crossbar, hit a post, came back to haunt them. They couldn't beat Thompson. Dallas and Colorado needed a shootout. The Stars win their 2 points back of the Avs for first in the NHL, first in the West, first in the Central. Flames beat the Blues 2-1 in a shootout. And the Oilers get a little bit of help as the Flyers defeated the Ducks 2-0. The Flyers were up 2-0. Then Cutter Gauthier and Leo Carlson tied it. Leo Carlson tied it late in like the final 2 minutes of the third period before Noah Cates won it in overtime for the Flyers. So that means an updated standings look in the Pacific Division. The Oilers are 1 point back of the Ducks. Ducks have a game in hand. Vegas is 1 point behind the Oilers. They also have a game in hand on Edmonton. So games tonight, all around the league, there's games that matter. The Jets and the Bruins. Now, the Jets got real slim playoff hope, but tell me there's a chance is what they're saying. And they are in Boston to take on the Bruins, who are currently in a wild card spot. You have the Islanders and the Senators. And I would say for the Sens, that's pretty much a must-win game. And probably a must-win game in regulation if you can get it, but they just need 2 points. You have another game, massive game, Montreal and Detroit. The Canadians, of course, who won in overtime again, they're at 84 points, 2 back of the Lightning, but they're also only 2 points up on both Boston and Detroit for the wildcard spot. So things are very tight in the East, and I love the head-to-head matchups. Then you got the Blue Jackets also in action. They just keep rolling. They're taking on the floundering Rangers, who are playing the second half of a back-to-back. You got to find a way to win that game if you're at Columbus. The Wild taking on Chicago. The Wild are pretty much stuck in third place. The one team I don't think is going to go anywhere. Kraken and the Predators. And don't look now, boys and girls, but the Nashville Predators, they're 2 points back of the Kraken, who hold down the final wildcard spot. So the Preds win this game. Now, they wouldn't move ahead of Seattle because Seattle has the tiebreaker, but they'd move into a tie with them with 71 points. Crazy. Nashville really probably haven't thought of them in the hunt, but they're in the hunt. Then you have the Oilers hosting the Panthers. Panthers have nothing to play for other than pride, and they'll be ready tonight. Make no mistake about this. They would love nothing more than to come into Edmonton, beat the Oilers, just for fun. Right? I do not expect the Panthers to go away. And honestly, if you're the Edmonton Oilers tonight, you've got to be ready. You should treat this game like, I am annoyed. I am pissed off. This is a team that's broke my heart 2 years in a row. I want my pound of flesh tonight. There's no Gadjevich. There's no one on the Panthers that you're scared of. Oilers, be physical, be aggressive. You got Tkachuk. He's mocking one of your best players. They should go after him. This should be an emotional game if I'm the Edmonton Oilers. And I'll say this. If I was Chris Knobloch, I would start the fourth line tonight. Send a message that we're here. We're going to be physical. We're going to be emotional. Let's go. That's what I would do. Then other games, you have the Golden Knights are hosting Utah, and LA Kings are hosting the Flyers, second half of a back-to-back for the Flyers. And the San Jose Sharks are hosting the red-hot Buffalo Sabres. The Sharks are trying to stay in the playoff race, but I know they got games in hand, but I don't know, man. They're in tough tonight against, but I think Buffalo, that could be a big win tonight for the Buffalo Sabres. So we'll see. But the Nashville Predators, depending, like if they beat Seattle straight up, the Kings somehow lose, the Sharks, very good chance they could lose. They could be there. And then the Jets, if that all happens, if Seattle loses, right, the Jets and the Kings lose, the Jets find themselves only 2 points out of the playoffs. So, man, the West, it's far from over. The Oilers are pretty good position. They are 6 points up on the LA Kings, who are currently in ninth place. The Kings do have some games in hand, though. So the Oilers, they're not comfortable yet. So they need to play better for certain. And hey, maybe, just maybe, the Oilers could win 3 in a row for the second time this season. Dare to dream, Oiler fans. Dare to dream. I don't know if I mentioned, but Connor Ingram, of course, is starting in goal tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. And I could see him going the whole homestand. He plays well again tonight. They're probably going to roll him out against Tampa Bay. I know that it's a non-conference game, but you want to keep rolling. And I think he'll get one of the games next week. That's just my guess. We'll see. Maybe they don't have to do any of it. Well, fine. Hey, guys, I read somewhere there's a greater number of Canadians playing in the tournament. I couldn't be more proud. It's good to see that we're known for something other than hockey. That comes from Jordy. Well, hey, man, Canada does have a lot more basketball players coming up all the time. It's great to see. It's awesome. I don't know. Deck might know the exact number of Canadians in the tournament, but we'll try to get it down. Greg's, love the rundown of the game. What are you picking for the games today? Wow, there's a few obvious ones. Hey, tell you right now, they'll be up at playalberta.ca. But Buffalo Sabres, red hot, taking on the Sharks, who struggle defensively. That is not a good matchup for the San Jose Sharks. I would take them. So 36 Canadians in the on the men's side. Awesome. I like them a lot. Other games, man, like lots of teams are desperate. Like look at that Detroit-Montreal game. They're separated by 2 points. Like that's a massive game. Massive. Now Detroit doesn't have Larkin. They don't have Kopp, but they came up with a big win 2 days ago, and they'll look for another one tonight. Like Boston. And if they keep giving up all the chances they're giving up, it's going to be tough. The Winnipeg Jets, they lost in overtime shootout to the Predators, but they're still only 4 points out. Like they have lots of reasons to convince themselves they're still in it with 15 games to go. And really they are. When you're only 4 points out, it's still hard. It's 4 points out and you got to pass 4 teams to do it. But, you win 2 in a row, some of them lose 2 in a row, suddenly, boom, you're right there. So it's going to be fun, man. I love watching the games when everything ratchets up a little bit. And we got a lot of time. Gregor, please update me on Duke. I was an idiot who picked them to win. Well, I won't say your name, but they are...
Did I text that? Was it Declan?
Misery likes company, boys and girls. Well, they've got it to within single digits. So now they're down 9 with 16 minutes remaining in the game. We will take a quick break. And when we return, we'll break down the Oilers and the Panthers and some things that I think the Oilers should do tonight. We'll discuss it next with Landon Farrar. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories you don't. Weekdays, 2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
On the rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, bingo tune.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave ya with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best Latin DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
For 50 years, the Salvi Group has been building trusted homes and strong communities. This year, we're celebrating that milestone with special events and anniversary promotions you won't want to miss. Discover Hillshire by Salvi Group. Beautifully designed homes in a community built for the way you live today. And coming this spring, move-in ready spec homes will be available. Your new home is waiting. Celebrate 50 years of Salvi Group at Hillshire. Visit salvigroup.com or stop by Hillshire today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.222. Jason Gregor, Declan Kruger. Oh, they're within 6. Are the Blue Devils, but I think there was just a foul, so we'll see. Hey, Greg's, you're going to talk about those season seat hikes? We will. We will touch on that. Obviously, it's a small percentage of people who have season seats, but I'm curious, like, you know what? I know they came out today. There's another increase, fairly decent, significant one for Oilers fans. We got a lot of texts from people tad annoyed. So we'll get to that as well. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's a Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And Thursdays, you know what that means. The Daily Grand, $1,000 a day for the next 20 years. You can get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. Now, that's $7.3 million. Now, you can get a lump sum, or you just get $1,000 every day. Just living it up. Enjoy it. It's a whole adage. Like, would I make wise decisions with the lump sum or just keep going? Maybe no one knows. Keep it to yourself. Let's get $1,000 a day. Easier. It'd be better. We'll see. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints, as a BCHL playoff hockey is right around the corner. And of course, you can get your tickets, sgsaints.ca. If you want to book today. Of course, the Saints, they're at home coming up on Sunday. And then they wrap up 2 more home games next weekend. And then into April, it is playoff time. So it's Sunday afternoon down at the Thompson Family Arena. Get your tickets, sgsaints.ca. As we are joined by former NHLer, pre- and post-game analyst on Sports 1440, Landon Ferraro. Joins us. Landon, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm real good. The Oilers, of course, got a big win against the San Jose Sharks. 13 players pick up a point in that game, which is nice. The record is actually 17. It's that way back in 1985. But the interesting one is, Henrique was the only guy in double digits. McDavid only had 1 point. Hyman had 1 point. Like, they spread it around, and obviously that's not going to happen every night without Draisaitl. But you get some guys. Henrique gets 2 points. Jones scores. Like, you get a few more guys here. I think Trent Frederic's probably put together his best stretch of 10 games as an Oiler, that you're like, hey, we got more guys going than we had definitely a few months ago.
For sure. And I think, the fact, like what you said there too at the beginning is totally right. And it's not going to happen every game, but they need to have more games like that where it's not all stacked on 1 or 2 players, or, Hyman has, a hat trick or whatever it might be. Like, to be able to spread it out, not only does that take a bit of pressure off the guys that are playing big minutes, but what it does for the rest of the guys too is Frederic gets points. Henrique, who has had you can say a tough year in some aspects, gets a couple. Like, all of a sudden these guys are putting them in, and like, they feel good about themselves. They're getting rewarded, especially when a guy like Draisaitl goes out of the lineup, to come out and play like that, and to get a win, and it's a team win, not a McDavid had to throw everyone on his back and take care of it. Like, that to me was bigger than anything. And then Ingram, playing well, and especially that little flurry at the end of the second there. Like, he made some really big saves, and he's been on a good stretch here too. So it's good timing for guys to find their game and step up for sure.
Yeah. You look that halfway through the game, they kind of switched up lines a little bit. And I thought eventually with Draisaitl down, they weren't going to run, Szymanski as the third line center on this team. I don't think he's ready for that role just yet. So they got Nugent Hopkins as their second line center tonight with Hyman and Roslovic. And then you've got Dickinson on the third line. He's with Szymanski, and either going to be with Kapanen and Yarventi. Then, the fourth line's Frederic, Henrique, and Jones. And, maybe those, Henrique was playing on 2 different lines at different times last game. But I look at the decision to put Hyman with Nugent Hopkins, and I think that's the right decision, Landon. Like, you can't, Ryan Nugent Hopkins is not a high productive 5-on-5 player. If you put Podkolzin with him, I just think you're lowering your chances of offense. And this is like, hey, Zach, we expect you to kind of be our second leading scorer after McDavid without Draisaitl.
Yeah, I think, and I would say this is fair to say, like, Nuge is not a line driver. He is a elite setup guy and can play off of those players. So it makes sense in moving Hyman down, so you have that hard-nosed player that gets to the front of the net and, good on the boards, all that stuff. But on his other wing, Roslovic, who loves to carry the puck and use his speed and find openings. Like, Nuge needs some guys like that, because now he can do what he does best, and that's just find where he needs to be. Like, he reads the game so much better than a lot of players, that it allows him to be in the right spot, and then have the hands to make that next play. So to me, when you're trying to look at spreading out and making more lines productive through the stretch of Draisaitl gone, like that is a way better way of looking at it, while still having a third line that can play some good minutes and take some hard matchups. And then of course, like that fourth, again, ever since the coming back from Olympic break, it's like that fourth line has just fully understood their assignment and it's working again, right? Like you said it, like Frederick has had his best stretch of games, but even the fact of like Max Jones jumps back into the lineup, scores a goal, he provides some excitement. It's like it's really starting to come together in that sense.
Yeah. Defensively, they played better. I think Connor Murphy helps out a lot there. Dickinson, I know he had the pass that hit his skate, and I don't even think it was that terrible of a play. If he threads that pass through, everybody's raving about it. So it wasn't like it was a muffin right up the middle in the own zone. Still, though, he'd be the first guy to tell you, if I'm making that pass, I got to make sure that it works. But, defensively, they're getting better. Now, tonight, Landon, is the Florida Panthers come to town. They're the opposition. Everybody knows what's happened the last 2 years. And the Oilers, I talk about it. You've got a Florida team that's a little bit wounded. They're going to come in here. They're still going to obviously give you the best, but they don't have Barkov. They don't have Marchand. They don't have Reinhart. So, yeah, the Oilers don't have Draisaitl, but the other team's missing 3 guys. Like, I still think, yeah, it's a regular season game, but there's got to be a little bit more on the line tonight. Like, even the Panthers, they admitted it. Like, hey, this is an easy game to get up for. Like, they have nothing to play for down the stretch, which is hard for a lot of their guys because half their team was playing Cup finals or World Cup or the Olympics the last few years. Right now, to have nothing to play for, I'm sure it's not the best. But I really think the Oilers, I think this has to be an aggressive game for Edmonton. Agree or disagree?
Oh, I agree. I think that for all those reasons you just said about Florida, like not having anything to play for, and but they have the past 2 years, 3 years of stuff, of finals and all of that. Like that's what makes them dangerous in this one game, because there is history there where guys are going to want to say, okay, yeah, like we're a mess this year, but we want to show that we still own the Oilers. Like that's a pride thing for them. So that's where you're going to get their best early, but in saying that, this team is nowhere near the same. I was doing the game the other night when they were here in Vancouver, and their defensive zone, quite frankly, it's a disaster. Like 2 of the goals were Rossi, and I'm blanking on who got the second one, but they were by themselves in front of Bobrovsky for, like, no joke, 8 seconds before the puck finally came to them and then deked out the goalie and scored. Like, they're all over the place. So to me, for the Oilers, it's you have to go at them hard early, because that's when Florida's going to have their push, but they don't have the players that they had. And you can get on top of them. You can force them into mistakes. Like this is a game on top of Edmonton, have been kind of building their game in the last little bit here, but Draisaitl leaves. This game to me is one that you can like internally really make a statement to themselves. Even though it's not the same Florida team, like you can put them to rest pretty good tonight, because with work and playing the way the Oilers have, they should be able to take care of this game and really dictate the way it's played.
What about trying to get to pound of flesh, a little bit of revenge? Like, I look at Buffalo, and you've probably played in those games, Landon, where, it's just physical and it's rough and there's scrums and maybe there's the odd fight. Like, they don't have, without Gadjevich, they don't have like a nuclear deterrent on that team, right? Like, they got guys, Bennett's tough, and, Greer will fight, but they're no tougher than Nurse or Frederick by any stretch of the imagination, right? So, like, I've said it, if I was Knobloch, I would start the Frederick line with Jones. They were very good last game. They're energetic, right? Just saying, hey, we're here, guys. We got to play physical tonight. I don't think he'll do it. I'm trying to think the last time he started his fourth line, but I would definitely do it tonight. And I'd start Nurse and Murphy with him.
I'd have no issue with that at all. And see, like, that's where I wish coaching was a bit more, I say old school, but like back to even like when I was going into junior, my first few years of pro, like there was still a lot of like, start your fourth line at home, let them go run around, get a couple good hits in, get the crowd fired up right away. And before you knew it, like it had a completely different feel to a start of a game, especially when you were playing and you were the one on the visiting team and you're standing on the blue line and you're like, I know this is the only time I'm going to be out against this line, but oh, come on, right? Like I know I'm going to get hit at least once, right? So like put that into it. Use the crowd in Edmonton that's unbelievable in that building and get them fired up. It's to me, it's such an easy thing to gain at the start of a game. You're not like at worst. They control the puck for a little bit. You make a line change. You put McDavid out, and he tries to grab the play back right away. Like the fact that you have that option off of it makes it even like there's like a no loss situation out of it.
Yeah, 100%. Like I just, you can't make up for losing the cup. That's not what I'm saying. But you've got a team that's beat you. You've got them, mouthing off, chanting, all that sort of thing. Like there's at times it's like, hey, we can never get the cups back, but the Panthers are out of it. They're not going to the playoffs this year, and the Oilers need the win. And I firmly believe Edmonton historically has played better when they add more emotion in their game. And maybe it's hey, Nurse, like you want to be a leader, then be a leader physically tonight.
Yeah, and to me, when like again, I'll go back to like, of course, this Florida team is not the same that won the cup.
Yes,
but at the same time, if you look at all the teams that have gone on to win cups, there's always generally before they get there, there's one team that they can't get by, and regardless if that team is finally, they get by them just beating them best on best, or their window is closed and you're now the better team. Like you have to get by them. You have to mentally in your own head, really put them to rest and say like, it's done. Like we're the better team now, right? Like the past is the past. They got the cups. We can't change that. We're the better team now. We can put them to rest. We can move to the next, right? Like it's all mental at a certain point, right? Like it's a lot of talking yourself into things, talking yourself into different situations to amplify emotion in different circumstances. Like you have to play with that in the regular season as much as there is emotion that pops in and you have those random high games. You have to manufacture some in some situations in there to really pull out the best.
Yeah, you got to, the old Michael Jordan. Man, I took that personally, right? Like, I think in an 82-game season, there's different ways to get up at different times. And if there's one thing, Edmonton really hasn't had like an overly physical kind of ugly game this year. And you played, and I don't think it matters what level someone plays at. You get involved in those games where everybody feels like you're standing up for your teammates and stuff. It galvanizes a team and it adds a little extra juice. And I just think because of the past history here, Tkachuk said it himself. He goes, they're our biggest rival, the Edmonton Oilers, right? Like you respect them. There's a lot of respect. They got some great players, but there's clearly a dislike. And that happens, you face each other twice in the playoffs. He goes, usually you face each other 2 years in a row in the playoffs. In any round, it's tough. You go in the Stanley Cup final, obviously it's intensified. So I just look at the Panthers. They sat out in Vancouver the game you did, right? Mikkola didn't play. Losterainen didn't play. Roderick didn't play. I know they're nursing some injuries, but guess what? They're all playing tonight. Like their veteran team, as much as they can, is getting in the lineup tonight. And that speaks volumes. That's their head coach and the players saying, hey, we know we can't go to the playoffs, but this game means a little bit more than most games.
Yeah, and you're right. Like those games where they do get emotionally charged, like you can do all the team building. You can spend as much time as you want together. Like plain and simple, you get into a big situation where a bunch of people are trying to punch you in the face. Like you grow together really quick. Like my first year of pro, we were out of the playoffs in the American League in like January. We have basically the same team, but some new veterans the next year. And we're doing all right, but we get in a bench clearing brawl against Rockford, Chicago's team. From that point on, like our team, I've never been on a tighter team in my life. The amount of times that was referenced, and I'm not saying to go have a bench clearing brawl. That stuff doesn't need to happen, but there is no.
It would be awesome though for fun.
Oh, it would be great, especially sitting on the couch. I don't need to be in another one. Especially it was breast cancer awareness night, so it was pink ice, and they were wearing pink jerseys. It's weird to be scared of a wave of pink coming at you, but but again, like it bonds you. It really brings you together. So, to have a night where, like you said, if Nurse goes out there and just takes control physically, well, that pulls a couple other guys in. That's going to get that fourth line like, oh, well, he got a couple good hits. I want to go get a couple now, right? And you feed off that and you build off each other. Like, that's what good teams do.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's what they need. I'm kind of curious. Edmonton needs a win. I understand that. And obviously you can play for the win, but you can do two things at once. You can play to win and also play aggressive and be physical. What do you make of the line changes? Not surprising, going with Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, and Dickinson down the middle with Henrique after a one game with Szymanski.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, you got to get to a bit more veterans. You know what you're going to get out of it. Szymanski's done a good job and all of that, but at the same time, you got to move some stuff in or around and just make it as secure of a forward group as you can. And to be honest, like, I think it, in a way, has opened up the lines to be able to do a better job as well. With the top line, like, they're still going to be able to score. They've all played in those situations. That's what they're meant to be doing. That second line with Nugent Hopkins and Roslovic and Hyman, like, that line should work. That line should produce because they have different elements to it. But even the third line now, like, they have a real role. They understand what it is, to where, earlier in the year, I'd say you could say that the third and fourth lines had roles, but they really didn't, in a sense, right? Like, at the end of the day, it was always going to drop back to McDavid and Draisaitl, and the rest of the guys were they'd play the minutes when they could. With it, how it's been going now in the lineup, like, I feel like each line has their role, they have their minutes, and they know their job, and they got to do it, and it really pulls the rest of it together.
Landon Ferraro joins us here on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks, as always, for listening and watching. One last one for you, Landon. We look around, and the Western Conference at the bottom, it looks like the second wild card spot's really the only one that's left open. Utah is 5 points. I know it's 5 points with 14 games to go. That's quite a bit to make up. But Seattle's got 71. LA's got 71. The Sharks have 70. The Predators, who play the Kraken tonight, have 69. And even the Winnipeg Jets, I don't know how much I believe them, but they probably still believe it. You look at the Preds, the Kings, the Sharks, the Kraken, or I guess you could even pick the Jets. You have to pick one of those five. Who do you like to get that last spot?
I don't know if it's the same feeling I had for when we were talking about who's going to make the Olympics. And other than, I'm like, I don't care what decisions to make. I'm like, I have to see Celebrini at the Olympics. Like, to me, I need to see him in the playoffs this year. He's been so good and electric, but they have the game in hand still. They, as much as that was a tough loss for them the other night, of not even not being able to get a point out of it either. But to me, I still think they're going to be able to find a way. It just seems like it's going to work. I'll probably eat my words on that. I've been pretty bad with my predictions with you, Gregs, I'll be honest. But I feel like they're going to be able to squeak that and pull it off, to be honest.
All right. Okay. I like that. I honestly, I don't know, but the one team, though, for some reason I can't shake that suddenly the Nashville Predators are the team that's going to get in. It's kind of wild to say, but that's the Kraken are on a start of a 6-game road trip. I think they're done.
Yeah, I agree there. For me, the Preds, I don't know, like, I just feel like it's just they're not going to be able to finish out as strong as they're going to have to. I don't know. It just too much is. I don't know if I'm just stuck in the past of last year and the start of this year, but it just doesn't feel like they can finish this out.
Yeah, well, that you could easily be right, man. Like, none of them invoke a boatload of confidence, but I have to pick one. So we will see. Awesome, Landon. Thanks for this, buddy. We'll talk again soon.
Yep, have a good one.
There you go. That's Landon Ferraro from Sports 1440, pre and post game host. Also does some stuff on Sportsnet TV in Vancouver. We will return, and we got a potpourri of options for you to discuss Next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, and we'll update you. Declan Connor just sitting in the studio, sweating it out to see if their brackets will be completely ruined in, what is this, the fifth game of the tournament? Unreal. I'll tell you about it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Are you looking for safe and professional transportation solutions for your group events and sports teams? Look no further than Silent Rides, Alberta's premier charter bus company. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Jaffa Machinery. Jaffa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit jaffamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
247. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger with you. Sports 1440. Well, their lips are off the ground now. The Duke Blue Devils have tied the game. So it looks like they might complete the, now they're just ahead. So looks like the comeback could be complete now. Imagine if they choke now after coming all the way back. Oh, that would be nuts. So that's why you play the game. So you don't win or lose the game in the first half. You got to play the full 40 minutes in NCAA March Madness, but makes the bracket a little bit more exciting for some of you. It is Thursday, and it's time now for Thirsty Thursdays, as always, brought to you by Brook Liquor, 2 locations, southeast side, 50th Street and 92nd Avenue. Of course, on the, I guess, like west, north kind of side, central. You know where it is, St. Albert Trail, 118th Avenue. And if you're looking for wine, beer, cocktails, non-alcoholic beverages, best selection in the city is sure Brook Liquor. As David Owens joins us once again. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How you doing today?
I'm pretty good.
You got your Sienna colors on today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was, you know what, without even knowing what their colors were, it matched up
it was
very well.
Anti-Duke sentiment.
Go Sienna. It's true. Yeah,
As you woke up this morning, subconsciously, you're like,
didn't even know. Even know. I'm just like, you know what? I don't like Duke. I'm going to wear the green suit. So I actually just got this new suit of Mr. Dirks. Anytime you get a new suit, it's always nice.
Good looking suit.
Oh, thank you.
That's
I like
great.
it. So,
I like it. I like
it's
it.
awesome. What are we tasting today?
Okay, so it's Thirsty Thursday today, of course. It's also March Madness tips off today. So we thought, okay, well, let's put together a little Mixer Sixer watch party mix pack stuff here. So, and of course, if basketball is not your thing, and then March Madness, there's lots of stuff coming up that you need to think
there's the
for,
Panthers and the Oilers.
We got the Panthers. Well, even more so, like in the next couple of weeks, we've got. The playoff run right now is getting pretty spicy out there. We got F1s, of course, kicking off hard, and there's all sorts of fun stuff happening there. Got the men's world curling coming up, and so there's just all sorts of stuff. Probably missing some major highlight sport or something like that out there, but or cricket, but some good stuff here. So. We've got these the 6 beers here. Some fun excuses to if you don't like sports, even I don't know why you're not listening. You're listening to this, but drink these if your bracket's busted. You nailed an upset.
All right.
You have no idea what's happening. So we got 6 different things: crowd pleasers, craft fan picks, and etc. So we're gonna go through these kind of like that. So the first one is the Red Heart. What's up, Peaches?
What's up, Peaches?
What's up, Peaches?
It's quite the logo. I'm putting it on anybody who's watching on YouTube.
This is the crowd pleaser.
It's like
this
a girl on a stag.
That's right.
What she's on, right?
And this is a seasonal they do every year, and it sells out fast. And this is an exclusive at Sherbrooke.
It smells really good.
Only get this at Sherbrooke and Edmonton. It's just that peach just pops right through there.
Oh my God, that's. Ooh, it smells really sweet, but it's not that sweet.
No. It's like really natural. So they do use real peaches in this. They've also found this really cool experimental hop that I don't know. It's called XYZ124 hop number, experimental thing, and it actually gives those peach notes to it. So
God, I love peaches, man. It honestly does taste like a fresh peach.
Yeah, it's like a fresh peach. And this is based on I think it's based on like a blonde ale kind of thing. So
what's up,
so it's got
peaches? Tell you what's up is that is good.
Right? That is a top-notch beer.
That is really good.
Yeah, so then we roll into one of the craft fan favorites here. So Blind Man. This is their Magical Creatures New Zealand Hazy Pale Ale. So they call it a New Zealand Hazy Pale Ale. That's because the hops have come from New Zealand.
Okay.
And this is all about hazy, juicy, guava, really aromatic. Oh, that fruit just pops right through. And the nice thing about this one too is the hazy. A lot of the hazies get pretty heavy in the alcohol. This is nice. This is only about 5.2 or something like that. So really fantastic beer. And this one here, they also I think they brewed this for International Women's Day, and so there's some money going to all charity with all the sales of these ones here. So great beer to showcase and to try out.
It's the hazy pale, so it's a little bit foggy.
A little bit foggy, yeah.
A little bit foggy. It's interesting just because after the peach taste, like it almost tastes dull, but it's probably that's why I had to take a swig of water in between and then do it again.
Yeah, and I have to go back to it again because that peach is really peachy.
Yes.
So the guava comes out really subtly off the bat with this, but if you take another sip of it, after you rest a little bit, you're gonna have it pop back in there pretty nicely.
Because it's did you say there's guava in it?
Well, that's kind of the flavor profile to it. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a lot. If you don't like sweet, then this one's got a fruity flavor, but totally the peach one's a little bit sweet, not overly sweet. Like I like it, but that one's
this is
less
just
sweet.
A classic hazy style.
Yeah.
Fantastic beer. I think it punches above its weight class, and again, the alcohol content makes it just kind of a no-brainer. So let's hear we got a nice slice. So we're moving off of beer really quickly here.
Okay,
this is like calling it the halftime grab, right? You got orange creamsicle and vodka. So, you know,
Oh my
sticking on
God,
that
that
orange
just-
stuff.
you know that you know, without even tasting it, all that to me that just is danger. Because a lot of them,
right?
it tastes like you're like, oh, doesn't even taste like alcohol. And the
Doesn't even
next
taste
thing
like
you know, you're
alcohol.
like 5 deep, and you're like, woo,
That's right.
hit
So
you like a brick.
you know, so we've had a lot of good creamsicles over the years, over the last year and a bit.
Yeah. See, look, you put that on ice in the summertime. Oh my God.
Oh, that's right.
Be pounding those.
Creamsicle in a glass.
Yeah.
100%.
It does.
Yeah. So super
So
nice.
if you like
refreshing.
vodka, and like honestly, who doesn't like creamsicle flavor?
Who doesn't like
Pretty
creamsicle?
good.
I mean, if you don't like creamsicle,
Just
there's
reminds
something
me
wrong
of your
with it.
youth, really. Like
Absolutely.
I'll be honest, I can't remember the last time I had a creamsicle,
Yeah.
but every time I've had one as a kid, like I loved creamsicles. They're
Love creamsicles.
fantastic, right?
Yeah. Always one of my top favorites.
Yes, very much. Like creamsicle floats.
Ooh,
those were
so good.
Those are my at the Renner.
So you can make
Oh.
a creamsicle float out of this, right?
You
Pour
could,
this in a
actually.
glass. You throw some vanilla ice cream in there to top that off.
The adult version.
The adult version.
That would actually be pretty good.
That would be really good. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just straight up the liquid all the time. You can add some stuff to it.
No,
So
that's true.
it's all about having fun with it.
No, put the kids to sleep.
Yeah.
Not
Exactly.
recommending that, people. It's a joke.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Don't feed your kids the alcoholic creamsicles. Try to avoid that if we can.
Right on.
That'd be
Okay.
good.
So now we're moving into the crisp one. So, you know, come back after halftime. You need to have a little palate cleanser, maybe if you're way down or something like that. So Ale Architect, little crispy Hell's Lager.
So what is that?
And so a Hell's Lager, Hell's is all about super, super balanced. So it's really balancing, you know, the malt and the hops and everything, just to have a really simple, clean, balanced beverage. Unlike Pilsner, sometimes it can get pretty piercing on some of their hop forward character and things like that. So it's just a simple, clean, easy to drink lager.
Yeah, if you like lagers, exactly. See,
Mhm.
I find lagers now. I know that there's, you know, we can get dark lagers.
Yeah.
But for me, as I've gotten older, I always like ales because I find they're a little bit more flavorful. But this lager here, the little crispy, is for people who like. If you're like Strutty and you like a Coors Light, but you want a real good beer, then you get one of these because this is a lager that tastes way better.
Oh, this is way better, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, and like this is for people that want beer that tastes like beer, so to speak. You know, if you really want to break it down.
Mhm.
And yeah, Strutty would love this beer. It's super simple. and
Well,
easy.
let's not go there.
Come on.
You know, well, he
you
would love it, but he would regret. He would argue that he doesn't love it because
Oh,
then he'd have
no.
to admit that the no flavor beer that he
Yeah.
drinks, but suddenly
it's not so good anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
true.
So, is this a coconut beer?
That's a coconut. Yeah.
It's a
So-
coconut stout.
That's correct. This is a Superflux coconut stout. This is an absolute exclusive at Sherbrooke. We're the only place outside of the tap room, which is Vancouver, that has this beer in the world. Really, this is an incredible. So it's based off. They have a coconut hazy. They do. It's like super popular, and this is their coconut stout version of it. And so it actually, you know, spend some time resting on actual coconuts and someone is going through its sort of fermenting process and so on. So it is, and then, you know, using hops that have that coconut forward experimental kind of hop piece again.
That is a very refreshing stout.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But it doesn't taste coconut at all.
No.
No.
Well, minor. I mean, I kind of get a little
You
bit.
do a
Of it.
little
I'm
bit?
getting that chocolate. You know those Mounds chocolate bars, the coconut and the chocolate over top, 2 in a pack, blue and white.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Kind of like that.
Mhm. Yeah, like it's very subtle.
It's very subtle.
Like it's very subtle.
Yeah.
That it is honestly
that is
one of the
delicious.
smoothest beers, and I like dark beer, but
Yeah.
that is one of the smoothest stouts I've ever had. I like because some people out there, I know we get a lot of, I don't really think I like dark beer. Well, that's why you go get this party pack because you just get one. And
just
you
get
can
one.
split it with your buddies, split it with your spouse, whoever, partner. And if you don't like it, one of you is going to like it. If you have any taste buds,
Absolutely.
I'll say this. If you have a palate that's refined, you will enjoy this.
And you know, if you have a palate that's not quite there yet, you're still gonna like this. This is so great.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and people always think dark beer, heavy beer. This is
No,
not heavy at all.
it's not. No,
This
I
is
think
light,
that's one of the
easy
bigger
drinking.
kind of myths out there that
Yeah.
dark beer means heavy beer.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're treating this one as sort of, this is our dark horse beer, right?
That is, honestly.
And again,
That's one of
exclusive
the
with us.
of all the beers we've tasted. Honestly, that might be my
Oh,
favorite one.
all
That
right.
is really good.
All right.
Smooth too.
Super smooth. So Then we are going to roll on to Dieu de Ciel, which is a Quebec legend brewery. And this is their Herb.
Dieu de Ciel.
That's right. Their
Okay.
Herb à d'éternel. So this is
Herb à d'éternel.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Yeah, I'm never gonna get that.
Yeah,
beautiful.
well, hey, buddy, I got the French.
I gotta
So
try.
it's
I
J.
appreciate
Picard
that.
there. I like it.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just gonna defer to you on any other
Sure,
French
any of the
beers
French
ever
ones, you let
bring
me
in.
go, buddy. Yeah.
So we've got this is our sneaky good one. This
This
is
is Belgian beer, but it's
this-
10.2%.
10.2. So it's based on
Put on your big boy pants.
inspired by those Belgian triple styles, right? And so it's floral and hoppy, intensely fruity aromas, really complex. Oh, those citra hops. There's a New World hop in there, right? Those citras.
Remember,
Oh.
boys and girls, when you take your beer, you want to smell it. You want to open your mouth before you take a good inhale. You get the honestly changes it for me. Ever
Changes
since you
it.
taught me that, changes everything about how
Changes
this beer
everything
tastes.
about it. You can taste everything, and when you start tasting it when you're smelling it, it's such
Yeah.
a great way to it like preps your palate for what's coming next.
Like that one is definitely that
Oh.
one gives you a little bit of a kick for 10.2%. Like it's not overbearing, but it's definitely you're like, all right, this is a big boy one. You might want to split this one for sure. You have two of these, woo, you'll be rolling pretty quick.
Totally.
And you said this is out of Quebec?
It's out of Quebec. Yeah, they're just that brewery of Dieu de Ciel has been around for a long time. They're absolute legends out there. They make some of the finest beers on the planet.
Yeah, it's a little golden orange kind of color.
Yep, it's very much like I said, very much like those Belgian triple ales.
Yeah.
Well,
Belgium's famous for their beers. That's like one of their
and that's why
biggest
these
things.
guys are so great because they have figured out how to use modern new world styles and malts and grains, things like that, and get and hops and get these beautiful beers that they're styled after but
Okay.
are very uniquely
Like what's
North
so
American.
different about Belgian beers? Like what do they do that's different?
Well, I mean, they've been doing it forever and ever and ever. But if you look really getting into it, it's also their hops that they're using. So they've been growing those hops and making those malts for centuries over there in that style. And these are all new style hops, new world hops that are just grown here and not over there. And so it's just a little bit different. The
Okay.
yeast strains that they have, those yeast strains they had,
Yeah.
they've had those yeast strains for hundreds of years too.
Right.
Beer's interesting. Especially these big breweries, legendary ones. They've got yeast strains in secure vaults in like North Pole, places like that. That they're in these cold, frigid places. In case something happens, no, seriously, in case something happens. You'll have the same with some of the winemakers and places like that. Their yeast strains are really important to have.
Do we know where these? So in case there is, and all of a sudden there's only like
Yep.
5% of us left in the world, we're like, we got to send out to the
Yeah,
North
I've
Pole
got it.
because we got to get those yeast strains because we need some
Yeah.
good beers.
And don't quote me on the North Pole, but
Okay.
it's somewhere Arctic-y of sorts, Arctic or Antarctic area. But it's these cold vaults and all sorts of industry stores things in those places to keep them safe for any sort of thing that may happen, disasters. So so what's the winner here?
Ooh, well, I'm going with the coconut beer for sure.
Coconut
I
beer.
will say the Nice Life cocktail
Yeah.
was the orange creamsicle vodka. Very
Yeah.
good. But I'm gonna go with the Superflux today.
Superflux, that's
Yeah,
fantastic
for you.
And if
Yeah.
you had one that was like an upset, so you thought it was going to be maybe off the top the grape, but then
I'll say this one, the What's Up Peaches.
Yeah.
Like very different. Like the What's Up Peaches and the coconut are so opposite ends of the spectrum of beer.
in our
Okay, perfect.
in there as well. And pick one of these packs up. We're gonna have them for sale for the next 3 weeks, all during March Madness.
Yeah.
Pick one up, tag us on Instagram, let us know your favorite, and we'll crown a champ at the end of this run. And again, you got 2 exclusives in here that you can only get with us.
Yes.
The Super Flux and the Red Heart. So Yeah, get down, grab them. They're at both locations. I already have some made today. Got some more coming in tomorrow to make a whole bunch more packs. And
So if you want to try, just ask for the Sports 1440s.
Yeah, the Mixer Sixer Watch Party pack.
There you go.
That's right.
I like it.
Check out the blog. Get a little bit more detail about the beers, the breweries, and things like that in there as well.
Okay. Awesome. Great stuff, buddy.
Yeah, right on. Thanks.
Okay,
much.
thanks. It's David Owens from Sherbrooke Liquor. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Man, the melt is on. You're thinking about it? Winter tires? Get your summer, spring tires on. Go get the exchange and you get your oil change right now, fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It's game day with the Florida Panthers in town taking on the Oilers just after 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage coming your way with Andrew Walker at 6. Leon Draisaitl earlier today put on LTIR. Team also announced that they have recalled Roby Arventi from Bakersfield. Elsewhere on the NHL, you got the Jets taking on the Bruins, Sens and Islanders, Canadians in Detroit, Jackets host the Rangers, Wild up against the Blackhawks, the Kraken in Nashville, Canucks Lightning, Golden Knights Mammoth, Sabres in San Jose, and the Kings hosting the Philadelphia Flyers in the association. Pistons taking on the Wizards, Heat host the Lakers, Clippers up against the Pelicans, you got the Jazz and the Bucks, while the Sixers head to Sacramento. March Madness fully underway. Duke surviving a scare just now from Siena, winning 71-65. Earlier finals had Louisville knocking out South Florida 83-79. Nebraska gets past Troy 76-47. And an upset, High Point, the 12 seed gets past Wisconsin, a 5 seed 83-82. TCU also knocked off Ohio State 66-64. Right now, Michigan State up on North Dakota State 35-20 in the first, and in the second, 5 minutes remain. Vanderbilt leads McNeese 65-60. In the PWHL, Seattle takes on Montreal tonight. That one gets going just after 5 o'clock. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Alex Adams, talk some Sens, and we'll hear the stat of the day. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's.
Thursday
Get yours
afternoon.
today.
How are
Better
you?
Ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC.
Great.
We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care?
Jason
We're the
Gregor.
#1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
It's the 46th annual Big Brothers and Big Sisters Dream Home and Win 50 Lottery Day on Sports 1440. Today's the deadline to get tickets for the $46,000 final early bird draw. Get more info and tickets at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Oil Kings Hockey takes to the ice at Rogers Place for the final regular season game this Sunday.
It's the Team Awards game. See who scores the hardware pregame for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, and more.
With all the family fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Plus a post-game autograph session.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Calgary Hitmen. Team Awards game, 4 p.m. Sunday.
The final home game this season at Rogers Place before playoff action kicks off, starting at $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
CanTorque has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at CanTorque.com.
On the rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, bingo tune.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave you with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best live DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party, your on
Buddy,
the
yeah,
rocks.
right on. Thanks.
Hey, thanks.
The rocks.
Jeff Brab and 118th.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Millions and millions of Canadians do not have a doctor. We have a crisis. Canada's Medical Clinic is opening clinics across Canada to allow everyone to have a doctor to call their own. Early detection saves lives. If you are hearing this ad, then we've got some good news. Canada's Medical Clinic Windermere is now open. Call now and book an appointment with your new doctor. Canada'sMedicalClinic.com.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. We treat pain and injuries head to toe and some other issues that might surprise you, like incontinence, vertigo, neuropathy, and cognitive issues. We invest in the technology, techniques, skills, and people who know how and what to fix. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Ooh, this is a good old school tune, Cons. Man, the big man had a pretty good voice. I'll tell you that. Welcome back. It is game day on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where the Daily Grand tonight. Get your tickets. Can win $1,000 a day for 20 years. $7.3 million. Get your tickets at playalberta.ca. Good luck with that. Also, while you're there, you want to check out the Jason Gregor Show specials. We got a few odds boosts for you tonight, of course. Some Oiler games. A few guys. Hey, you know what? How about some of the depth guys? They're going to step up tonight. Savoy, Nugent Hopkins, Roslovic, Podkolzin. Might want to try that one out for fun. So check it out at playalberta.ca. Oilers and the Florida Panthers. The Panthers, they're playing out the string. They're currently in 15th place in the Eastern Conference, 69 points through 67 games. They are, well, out of it, they're 13 points back. Probably 10 days, maybe officially eliminated from the playoffs. But make no mistake. Tonight's a game where you can convince yourself, and it's as Matthew Tkachuk, and we're going to talk to him right away here, said this is an easy game to get up for. So the Oilers, I think it's a game for them where they would want to. You're never going to get revenge for a team that won, like winning a game in March doesn't get you revenge on the Stanley Cup. But when it's a team that you like deeply dislike, you can respect them, but dislike them. And that's where the Oilers are. It's the same for the Panthers. Edmonton has something to play for. Like, you better be up for this game for the Oilers, because you know the Panthers, like, they don't have the playoffs. But this is their game where they can say, you know what, we can just put the screws to them one more time. Right? And you know they're going to come out like that. They're dressing all their veterans who were a little nicked up but didn't play in Vancouver, and suddenly 2 days later, they're all playing. It's not a surprise to me. So we'll see what the others have. Also, tonight, you could see a few milestones reached in this game, as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is 1 point away from 800 career points. He would become the 197th player in NHL history to reach the plateau of 800 points. Connor McDavid, he's 1 assist away from 800 assists. Think about that. McDavid's going to reach his 800 assists. In theory, he could do it before Nugent Hopkins gets his 800th point. And Nugent Hopkins, like I just said, he's top 200 scorers of all time. And McDavid's going to get 800 assists more than he has 800 points. That is wild. So, also McDavid, if he has a big night, 3 points, gets him to 1,200. He'd be the 54th player in NHL history to get to 100 points. And he's 2 goals shy of 400 goals. He'll be the 115th player to reach that mark. So lots on the line outside of the 2 points in the standings. Robbie Järventie is on his way to Edmonton because Kasperi Kapanen is sick. He is a game-time decision. If Kapanen plays, Järventie's basically going to have to get loaned right away, right back to the AHL, or one of the players then has to become a non-emergency player, non-emergency recall. So we'll see. Something tells me Kapanen might not be ready to go tonight, so we shall see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by Go Auto. Over 15,000 vehicles for you to shop, peruse, and find. It's 71 different locations. So whether it's car, truck, van, SUV, if you're looking for a vehicle and a great deal, go to goauto.ca. And the Oilers, of course, are taking on Matthew Tkachuk. The Panthers, they're not going to the playoffs. Tkachuk's played in a lot of big games. 3 Stanley Cup finals in a row. A World Cup. 4 nations. The Olympics. And the challenge of getting up, for games down the stretch when there's no pot of gold at the end. There's no, oh man, we just get in, then we can go. This is not the year for the Panthers. How difficult is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard coming back for the first game after going to the Cup final, especially winning. Like it's always a little bit tough of an adjustment, but we have a certain expectation here. We have a certain culture set. You got to get up for these games. It's hard not to get up for this one, right? I mean, it's a team that we've played the last 2 years, but we've created something here that we don't want to ruin just by maybe not having our best year. So, I mean, we're all grinding through this together. It sucks. It's not ideal. The situation we're in is not good, but why not just enjoy your day? Why not come in here, work as hard as you can, try to get the win, and you can have a good night. Like, I mean, that's literally the mindset right now. We have 15 games left, and it's really all about not quitting on each other and giving everything we have. And, I mean, the results are going to be what the results are. We know what they're going to be, but at least we got to give everything we have for each other and, stick up for our goalies, that type of stuff.
You mentioned that it's easy to get up for a game like this. So in a way, maybe that's kind of a welcome game. It's a rivalry game. Obviously, the two teams might be a respect factor there, but there's a strong dislike there.
You just said it right there. There's a very big respect for each other going to the Cup finals the last 2 years. But whenever that happens, it doesn't matter who you play in a playoff series. There's going to be dislike. And then when you play a team 2 years in a row, no matter what round, the dislike just seems to ramp up. So they've probably become our number one rival just because of the magnitude of the games and where we've played them and the intensity of the last 2 playoffs. So, great team over there, some incredible players. And, I'm sure they're going to be right back there this year.
What's it like just waking up in that hotel, walk into the rinks, a lot of deja vu. It's kind of been a home away from home the last couple of years.
Yeah, I was talking with Benny today. I think we've been the most non-Oilers player, like most games played here from non-Oilers players. We've played so many games here with the bubble, playing in Calgary, a playoff series there, preseason games, and then 2 playoff series here. So it's been a lot, but even coming into the hotel yesterday talking, we were on the elevator going up to the room with 8 guys, and they're all 8 guys that have been here the last 2 years. And we were just talking about like how great of a feeling it was last year after winning that game 5 here. Like probably one of the best feelings we've ever had after a game, knowing that we have a chance to go home and win the Cup on home soil again. So that, especially that last game, the last 2 games here, Marshy's overtime winner, and then that game 5 last year, just nothing but good memories here.
You make of Hughes talking about that puck. You can understand why a guy would want a puck like that, but not necessarily the way it always works. So what did you make kind of that whole thing?
I mean, I don't know. I think that obviously we all love the Hall of Fame. We've given stuff I know I've given stuff after the last 2 cup finals. They've asked for stuff, been happy to give it to them. But I think when it comes to pucks, I mean, the way it's worked in the NHL, obviously the players don't own the pucks in regular season games or playoff games or cup finals or whatever. But if you score a big goal, you get that puck. So if Jack wants the puck, I hope he can get it. But obviously we love the Hockey Hall of Fame, and our team especially, getting to know all of them and getting to go tour. I know I've been to the Hall for the last 2 years when they've put up our Stanley Cup locker or whatever it's called, and place is absolutely incredible. So it's definitely a cool spot for it, but I think Jack should have it.
With your 2 cup wins and gold medal, what are sort of the cherished things that you personally have from those?
Oh, like individually, what do I have that I cherish from it? My stick from last year, scoring the goal in that game. I guess that's something I don't really cherish, like individual stuff. Like I cherish more like the memories from the partying afterwards.
Thanks.
Well, there you go. Matthew Tkachuk with, hey, you know what? There's a strong dislike. There's a respect. It doesn't mean that you can respect someone, but the thing about hockey and lots of sports in general is you can respect the opponent's skill and their will and everything else, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to cross the line to do anything to win. And Florida was very good at that. And that's why, for me, if there's an element of the Oilers that at times I'd like to see more of is, you know what? Cross the line. Cross the line a little bit. Like they do it. Tkachuk just irks the hell out of people, right? And he's excellent at it. He's a really good player, but he's incredibly good at trying to get under the skin of opposition, right? I know other fans can't stand him because of the turtle. It's awesome. But you also, Matthew Tkachuk was a main reason why it kind of reignited the Battle of Alberta. Because make no mistake, for years, the Battle of Alberta, there was no battle. Neither team was great. Wasn't overly competitive. There was not a lot happening. Then Tkachuk runs Cassian and everything changed. And people got fired up. You had the goalie fight. Tkachuk's fighting Ethan Bear. And everyone's like, this is awesome, right? And then Tkachuk, to his credit, did fight Cassian in Edmonton. And people are like, all right, he fought. Okay, I still don't like him. But I can respect the fact he fought Cassian. He wasn't fighting like, Kasperi Kapanen, who's not a fighter. You know what I mean? But if I'm the Oilers tonight, I want to get a little bit of pound of flesh against the Panthers. Right? Why not stand over Bobrovsky? Right? Zach Hyman goes to the net. Could he accidentally, on purpose, fall on Bobrovsky? The Panthers, they found ways to irritate. Now, they're skilled. Don't get me wrong. They had a very good team. They didn't win just because they gooned it up. That wasn't it at all. In fact, I don't really, the Stanley Cup final last year wasn't really that dirty. I thought the year earlier was probably a little bit more aggressive. They had a lot of skill, and they're physical. And yeah, they chirp. And I know you can't manufacture those type of personalities, but Edmonton's got enough grit in their lineup tonight. Let's go team by team, player by player. If we go down the lineup, you can't look and say, wow, like Nugent Hopkins, if he had to, could Nugent Hopkins fight? Yeah, he can fight. Zach Hyman's fought. So you look at, could Zach Hyman fight Matthew Tkachuk? Yeah, I think he could. I don't have no problem with that. All right, Connor Murphy, Darnell Nurse, Frederick, Jones, they're all big and strong enough because you got Bennett on the other side. You've got Greer on the other side. You've got Ekblad. That's probably it, right? Tkachuk. But Verhaeghe's not overly aggressive. Lundell, Luosterainen, Boquist, Stamaskowicz, Rodrigues, Nosek, Reinhart, Luke Cunnin. He's got a little grit to his game. But they're far from oh my God, this is a real big, tough team. So, man, if I was the Oilers tonight, I want to win. I would look to try to have a galvanizing game. A lot of scrums, maybe a few scraps, lots of guys stepping up. Because, hey, the Panthers, they broke your heart 2 years in a row. No one would be like, wow, I can't believe why the Oilers are so upset by the Panthers. No one will question that. What they should do. Quick break. We'll come back. We're going to hear from the head coach. Also, Alex Adams will join us. There's lots more teams, man, on the playoff bubble. And did one bubble burst last night? We'll find out next. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win games with salad.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. But you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.327 Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. It is game day, man. There is lots of games. Of course, you got the NCAA. If your bracket, Duke did come back to win, so your bracket is not busted. Maybe you did you have the first upset pick of the day, High Point? Number 12 over number 5. You got to pick a number 12 every year, at least one. Usually I kind of go with 2. Doesn't mean they always hit, but there's always a 12, it seems, every year that wins, sometimes multiple. I think one year there was like 3. So I always like to go for the number 12. So 112 won. That was the High Point. Meanwhile, McNeese did not win. Tonight, there's lots of teams that it's not mathematically a must-win game, but I would argue in some cases it's as close as it can get. As we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's, and stop in at McDonald's this week for a limited time. The NHL Star Sticks are back, of course. McDavid, Matthews, and others. There's 7 mini sticks with every Star Sticks meal. You can get all your favorite players only for a limited time at McDonald's. There's 11 games in the National Hockey League tonight, and by my math, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them have playoff implications. The only one that really doesn't is the Blackhawks and the Wild, because the Wild, they can't really go anywhere. They're going to finish 3rd in their division. Everywhere else, the games matter. And one of the most important ones will be in the capital city of Canada. The Ottawa Senators. Tough loss last night. They actually played really well. They, in the first period, hit a few posts, and then they couldn't beat Thompson. Probably outplayed Washington, deserved a better fate, but they didn't get it. They lost. And so tonight now, they face the Islanders. And I would argue this is as close as you can get to a must-win situation without mathematically being a must-win situation. As Alex Adams from Sportsnet in Ottawa joins us. And Alec, last night the Sens played really well, like especially in that first period. They were all over and they just couldn't score. And that happens sometimes. They kind of got goalied, and they end up losing a critical 2 points to Washington.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story of the Senators season, just in terms of, they've had goaltending troubles all year, and it feels like they continually get goalied by the other team, and that's what happened last night. And unfortunately, that they can't. It's going to be really hard for them to overcome the loss even last night, just because there's only 15 games left in the season, and tonight is a must-win. I think Money Puck has, if they win the game, their playoff odds go to 47%. If they lose, it goes down to 26%. I don't know if I believe the 26%, but here we are going all analytics mode. But it's going to be a huge game on the second night of a back-to-back. James Reimer's playing, so they opted to not play Linus Ullmark in the biggest game of the season, although he played last night, and he played a back-to-back on the weekend, both games. So it's interesting that he's not playing. And he was fine last night, but got out-dueled by Logan Thompson. So must-win game here in Ottawa, and hopefully they can kind of get it done.
Looking at the Senators and goaltending for the first, 3 months, maybe in 3.5, it was clear that was their problem. Like all their numbers, they're out shooting teams, they're out chancing teams, and their goaltenders, it wasn't like their goalies were under, highlight chance after highlight chance. They just weren't very good. Now, Linus Ullmark, since he's returned, has actually been pretty good. His numbers are way better, and the Sens went on a pretty big run. But when you look at, obviously he's bounced back now, but how much concern is there in Ottawa that the goaltending is too inconsistent?
I think it's a pretty big concern, honestly. He has been much better since he's come back. He's been around 900 in terms of a save percentage, which is good. But the team, since he's come back, is basically best in the league in terms of shot suppression. They give up like 22, 23 shots a night. So it's not like a 900 average in front of maybe a different team, like one in Alberta that's, much better, much worse defensively. The Sens are great defensively. So Ullmark's been fine, but he had a bad goal against Montreal. They squandered points, allowing a goal just where he lost the puck. And Demonov's got the winning goal late in the third, and the Sens could have won that game in overtime or at least got a point. And that's kind of been the story of the season, specifically even when he's come back. He's looked fine, but he hasn't looked like the guy that's paid $8.25 million for the next 3 years after this one to be an elite Vezina caliber goalie. He's been good, and they need better than that. They need great from Allmark, and he hasn't been that so far, even in his return.
What about Brady Tkachuk? How would you evaluate his play?
It's been a weird year for Brady, from the injury to Team USA to coming back to everything with the politics of it all that we don't need to get into. And I thought he was pretty pedestrian last night.
Yes.
It's been a weird year for him, where the stats, like he's, I think, 1 point below point per game. I think he has 46 points in 47 games, but his impact on the game doesn't feel as, impressive as his point total. He's hitting at a career low rate. Now, could that be because he had a thumb injury earlier in the year and he can't fight, can't feel as engaged? I don't know. But that's been the talk of town, has been, it just doesn't look like the same Brady Tkachuk who led them into the playoffs, was a beast at the Four Nations. He might be banged up. It's unclear kind of what's up with him. But Travis Green said it's been a long, emotional, fatiguing year for him. And I think that's on the ice, off the ice. He's a new dad. He's, has a little kid as well. So maybe that's kind of a part of the adjustment, and just maybe not as, tired from all the late nights. But he just hasn't been that same player that Sens fans have just adored, and the one that was like a beast in the playoffs and at the Four Nations last year.
Yeah, like I watched some of his shifts last night in Washington. I was like, what is going on here? He's normally an energy guy. And he almost looked like he was just going through the motions in some of his shifts. And I know there's been some rumblings. Like, if the Sens don't make the playoffs after last year, do you think there'll be significant change? Like, what do you think Steve Staios is going to do in the offseason if they don't make the playoffs?
I mean, I think the first thing they have to do is, where is Brady Tkachuk at? He has 2 years left on his contract, so, the Sens don't have to trade him. But if you feel like he's saying I'm leaving no matter what, a la like Quinn Hughes or something along those lines, you have to make your whole decision as a GM has to change and reorientate yourself in terms of what do we do with Brady Tkachuk, and then all the rest of the dominoes fall. I think if they feel some sort of certainty, or at least ease with Tkachuk going into next season, I think he tries to add another defenseman on the right side. Carter Yakimchuk, a really good prospect, 7th overall in 2024. I don't know if he's ready to be that guy right now. But the team's really good. They out-chance teams every night. They're top 10 in the league in goals for. If they had even average goaltending, they'd probably be top 5 or top 10 in goals allowed. So fix the goaltending, which might be trying to bring in another goaltender, maybe a Stuart Skinner, who knows, to kind of help Linus Allmark. But I think if you're Steve Staios, you have to just figure out what's next for Brady Tkachuk, address the goaltending position, and just tinker around the edges, because the team's a good team, even though their record isn't as good as they'd like it to be.
Like, if you move Tkachuk, you're not looking for prospects. Like, if you're trading Brady Tkachuk because he's got a few years left, you're looking to say, okay, we're getting a good player back in return here, right? Like, I'm not saying it was at the level of a Hossa for Heatley deal, but you're talking, we want to make a hockey trade here. We're not giving away and saying, oh, we're retooling or rebuilding.
That's the issue, is he has a no trade clause. So are you going to get like what you want back, a la a Hossa for Heatley trade, which was a really good comparable? I think if you're Staios, you say to yourself, can you compete for at least go deep in the playoffs and maybe even a Stanley Cup in the next 2 years outside of this season? If you feel like there's a chance, if you go all in, I think you should keep him. But if you feel like, he's saying I'm going to wherever, joining Matthew or wherever he wants to go down south likely, then you try to get your best offer and kind of go from it, a la Quinn Hughes. But I think the Senators are in a bit of a bind, and the only way out is for them to be a contender. I truly believe if the Senators are a really good team and in the playoffs, somehow sneak in this season, sneak in next year, and are a really legit team, I think that's the best way to kind of make your pitch to Brady is, hey, we're really good, and you should kind of lead the charge.
You look at the Islanders tonight. Schaefer obviously is a great story for them. Sorokin's one of the best goalies in the National Hockey League. That they brought in Shen. They made quite a few moves at the deadline. Like this, you mentioned a must-win game, but it's a real tough matchup tonight for the Ottawa Senators.
It's going to be a really tough matchup. Sorokin seems to always have the Senators' number. They're, the Senators on the second night of a back-to-back. Schaefer's obviously unreal. That team in the island's been really, really effective and playing really good hockey, and you don't want to play them in overtime because I'm pretty sure they're 10-0 in OT. So it's if the Senators, like, the thing is that this is a big game for the Senators. It's also a huge game for the Islanders. They're only 2 up on Columbus with them on their tail. So it's not a must win for the Islanders, but it's a hugely important game for them as well. So the intensity might be pretty off the charts for a regular season game tonight, just because of what's at stake.
Well, it should be a good game, Alex. We appreciate it, man. Enjoy the stretch run, and we'll see if the Sens get in or not.
Thank you so much.
That's Alex Adams joining us from Sportsnet, covering the Ottawa Senators. And it's a must-win game tonight for the Sens. Just do the math on it. They lose the game tonight, and they remain 5 back. Best case scenario, they could find themselves 7 back of a playoff spot. So we'll see what happens. They're in action. They're taking on the Islanders, who, of course, are battling with Pittsburgh. They're 1 point back of the Penguins. The Penguins lost last night to the Hurricanes. You also have Montreal in Detroit tonight. That's a massive game between those two teams. They each have 37 wins. Montreal has 2 more points due to 2 extra overtime losses. You got the Boston Bruins hosting the Jets. The Bruins tied with the Red Wings. They're 2 points back of the Canadiens, but they're also only 1 point up on Columbus, who is they're hosting the New York Rangers tonight. So it's wild in the East. In the West, the Kraken and the Predators. The Predators win, they would tie Seattle, who's currently holding down the final wild card spot in the NHL. Seattle 71, LA 71, San Jose 70, Nashville 69. And what about the Jets? Right? Like, if the Preds and the Jets win tonight, and let's say Seattle and LA loses, you'd have 5 teams within 2 points, because the Sharks are in there as well. Wild stuff. So this looks like it's going to be a very unpredictable run down the stretch, which makes it fantastic. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. You can always text us. We're going to get to our stats of the day coming up. We also have Sean Campbell from TSN 690. Hear from a few of the Edmonton Oilers. Hear from McDavid, Ekholm, Chris Knobloch. Robbie Yarventi is a possibility for tonight. If Kapanen, who's under the weather, didn't come to the morning skate today, if he can't go, then Yarventi will slide in the lineup tonight for the Edmonton Oilers and make his Oilers debut. Won't be his NHL debut. He did play 7 games for the Senators a few years ago, but it would be his first NHL game in a few years. Take a quick break. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Price is Right, live at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Some conditions apply. See in store for details.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vent start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, McCarr, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Area Adjusted and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
What's some non-Nissan drivers here?
Soul-crushing flurries today with a low of making you cry.
What Nissan drivers here?
It's looking absolutely perfect out there.
Don't fear the forecast. Get an all-wheel drive Nissan Rogue and get up to $4,500 cash purchase bonus on select new 2026 Rogue models. Built, tested, and trusted to conquer Canada's harsh winters. Visit your local Nissan dealer today or nissan.ca for details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
Turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
Your next great family adventure is just a raffle ticket away. Enter the Alberta Foster and Kinship Association's Great Family Adventure Raffle for your chance to win incredible prizes, including the first prize, a Sea-Doo pontoon cruise boat worth over $70,000. Every ticket sold helps provide vital resources to the everyday heroes raising children through some of life's hardest circumstances. Buy your tickets before the live draw on June 5th. Get yours at rafflebox.ca/raffle/the Great Family Adventure Raffle. License number 766115. Open to Alberta residents 18 plus only.
Come on, y'all, let's take a ride. Don't you say let's just get in.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL. Get your power play amped up with UL, supplying the city of champions in Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. UL.ca is your partner in power.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
.346. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely day. And, you know, it's going to get a little bit better for 3 of you. So we got 3 pairs of great seats for tonight's game. All in the order zone where they attack. We're talking row 11 for a few pairs, and then row 17 for the other pair. So some great seats. So this is what we're going to do. We're just going to do a fun little draw, and we'll take 10 people. So you have basically a 30% chance. $100 goes to charity, and then we'll do the draw, and 3 people are going to go. So if you want in for $100, and so you get a pair of seats to go to the game. Not bad for $100. Can't get that anywhere. So, and you help out The Gregor Foundation grad season's going on right now, so we got a few extra grads we got to get to. So be very easy. If you want in, just text in with your name, and we'll send you an email where you can make the transfer, the donation, and then you're in the draw, and we'll do that. So 3 pairs. So you got a pretty good chance, basically 1 in 3 chance to win and sit in some great seats tonight. Oilers and the Panthers. Something tells me many of you want to boo Chuck and Bennett and maybe the whole team. So 833-401-1440. If you're interested, 833-401-1440. We'll get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All-Star Construction, founded in 2009. Sergey started it. Him and Mark now run it together. They've built into the largest contractor in their space in land development, power, gas installation contractor, and they do tons in the community, helping out the Climb Out Hockey Rink in Spruce Grove, as well as the Wellspring, Alberta, Edmonton House, which is a cancer treatment center, and I did all the parking lot lighting and more. That is All-Star Construction. And some numbers for you. If you missed it earlier today, we talked about it briefly, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, very quietly having himself a pretty good career. He needs 1 more point, goal or an assist, doesn't matter, 1 more point, and he'll become the 7th player to score 800 points with the Oilers. Gretzky, McDavid, Draisaitl, Curry, Messier, Anderson. Pretty good group to be a part of. He's now going to be in Nugent-Hopkins, well, he's already there, top 200 scorers of all time for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He'll be 197th when he gets his 800 points. Him and Chris Letang are actually each tied right now at 799. So pretty big accomplishment for Nugent-Hopkins. Now, then there's the guy, Connor McDavid. He's 1 assist shy of 800. When he does that, there's only 36 players in NHL history. Well, he'd be the 36. There's currently only 35 who have 800 assists in their career. And McDavid's kind of halfway through his career. He probably has another decade of hockey to go. So he'll obviously move up that, but he's already 36th. When he gets 3 points, he'll become the 54th player to 1,200 points. And 2 goals, he gets to 400. He'll be the 115th guy with 400 goals. So, by the end of this season, McDavid, if you go to NHL.com, McDavid is going to be on the front page of the all-time score. He'll be in the top 50 by the end of the year. He needs 13 points the rest of the season, and then he'll be in the top 50 of all time. Only active players with more assists than McDavid. You think you could guess them? I think a few of them are obvious. But do you think you could get all 4, Connor Halley? Declan Kruger? 4 guys who have more assists currently than Connor McDavid?
I mean, like you say, Crosby
would
be the obvious.
Yes.
Who else has been around the league for a long time? Stamkos?
Nope. Just below him.
I didn't hear what you said, Declan. Ovi, he says, just for longevity.
Yeah, no, Ovi's not the assist guy. He's the goal scoring guy. No.
Carlson?
No. Just think of Crosby's running mate of Jenny Malkin.
Oh, Gino, yeah. Okay.
Right? Patrick Kane.
Good one.
And Anze Kopitar. Kopitar's at 859, Malkin's at 868, Kane's at 879, and Crosby's at 1,095. But you look at McDavid, he'll pass Kopitar next year. Kopitar will be retired, of course. And probably within 2 years would pass Malkin and Kane. And then there's only Crosby. That's obviously a few years away to catch him. But be pretty good. Another little fun stat for you. If you're like, yeah, you know what? I can't stand the Panthers. How about this? The Panthers, it's not official yet, but it's as close to official. They're unofficially eliminated from the playoffs. We know they're not making the playoffs. But they will become only the 6th Stanley Cup winner to miss the playoffs the year after winning the cup. It's happened 6 times. And oddly enough, the Oilers have lost to 2 of those 6 teams. Panthers in 25 will miss the playoffs in 26. The LA Kings won the cup in 2014. They actually haven't been back to the playoffs since. The Kings or the Hurricanes haven't won the cup since they won it and then missed the playoffs the following year. The 2006 Hurricanes. That's the other team. Oilers fans, you remember that one? Brutal. And then they missed the playoffs. 2007 actually missed it for a few years and haven't been to the cup final since. The New Jersey Devils won the cup in 95, then missed it in 96. They did end up winning again in 2000 and again in 2000 and was it 3? I think it was 2003. The 1969 Canadiens won the cup. They missed the playoffs in 1970. Then they won a cup again in 1971, Ken Dryden's first year. And here's an interesting one. Everybody knows the 1967 Maple Leafs for that being their last championship. But was also, they became the first team ever to win the cup and then not make the playoffs the next season. So the curse of the Maple Leafs started many years ago. I would say that. So there you have it. So pretty easy. But those are the 6 teams that are out of it. Here's some other numbers for you. And I don't love it. So far this year, 281 of the 1,082 NHL games have extended past to overtime. That's 25.9%. The NHL record was 307 back in 2014. And that's going to be beaten pretty handily. Right now, it's on pace for like 345 games going to overtime. Now, if you look at it, since the Olympic break, it's basically been the same. 25.8%. 45 of 174 games. But in the last 14 days, just 2 weeks, it's jumped up to 29% with 32 of 109 games going to overtime. And, as the games get closer, that everything matters more. You got a lot of teams battling. I do wonder if in the back of your head, teams like, we just need a point here. So we're not going to be risky. Let's just get a point. We go to overtime, away we go. So for teams like Ottawa, Winnipeg, everybody who's in the chase mode, that's why it becomes so hard to make up ground late in the year because seemingly there's more 3-point games. Now, it's only a 2-week window, so I don't want to say, and it's not like it's massive, but it's jumped up from 25% to 29%. So a little bit of an increase, almost 5%. And it makes this, like it inflates the standings. You look at it, there's 281 more points available than just if somebody wins or loses right now. 281. And the teams who have been the biggest benefactors of the losing, well, Pittsburgh, 16 overtime / shootout losses. LA, 15. Vegas, 14. Minnesota, Philly, Toronto, and Chicago, 12. Minnesota's been to overtime 26 times this year. 26. They're basically 12 or 10 and 12 in overtime. LA's been to it 25 times. They're 10 and 15. Philadelphia, 24 times. They're 12 and 12. Pittsburgh has been to overtime 21 times. They've only won 5. They're 5 and 16. Now, 3-on-3 in the shootout, obviously he's not part of the NHL playoffs. And the Penguins suck at both. Imagine that being 5 and 16 in overtime / shootout. Wild stuff. But it's a trend I'm not loving right now. And in even overtime, I would love to put in the no over and back rule. The more I watch overtime, when it's end-to-end, man, there's nothing more exciting. When you got the constant regroup, boring. So I don't know how you eliminate, and not sold I buy the theory that if you make it 3 points for a win, that teams would play more aggressively. Like, I don't know, maybe, but I'm not sold on it because you can still get 2 points for the win. I think some teams, if it's a tie game, are you going to take chances to get 3, but then you might get 0. So that's where I'm not sold on it. All it would do is spread out the standings. That's really all. I've crunched the numbers for years. I would do that. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. The Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Okay, so you missed it. Leon Draisaitl placed on the LTIR. The Oilers also recalling Roly Arveni from Bakersfield. They're in action tonight, taking on the Panthers just after 7. Pre-game coverage coming your way 6 o'clock with Andrew Walker. Elsewhere around the NHL tonight, you got the Jets and the Bruins. Sens host the Islanders. Canadians taking on the Wings. Rangers and Jackets. Wild host the Blackhawks. Kraken in Nashville. Canucks host Lightning. Mammoth taking on the Golden Knights. Sharks, Sabres, and the Flyers in Los Angeles. In the association, Cavs travel to Chicago. Pelicans host the Clippers. Bucks in Utah, and the Kings taking on the Sixers. March Madness underway right now. Just 2 games going on in the second quarter. Michigan State leading North Dakota State 69-48, and Hawaii trails Arkansas 73-53 earlier today. Duke surviving a bit of a scare. They would come back to beat Siena 71-65. You also had Nebraska over Troy 76-47. Wisconsin falling to 12 seed High Point 83-82. And Vanderbilt over McNeese 78-68 later on tonight. Number 3, Illinois taking on number 14, Pennsylvania. You've got St. Mary's and Texas A&M. BYU up against Texas. And number 16, Howard meets number 1, Michigan. In the PWHL, Seattle heads to Montreal. Puck drop set for just after 5 o'clock. Coming up next on Sports 1440, we will be joined by TSN 690 Sean Campbell. We hear comments from the Oilers and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Oil Kings hockey takes to the ice at Rogers Place for the final regular season game this Sunday.
It's the Team Awards game. See who scores the hardware pregame for Rookie of the Year, Most Improved, MVP, and more.
With all the family fun Sunday face painting, bouncy castles, and Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Plus a post-game autograph session.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Calgary Hitmen. Team Awards game, 4 p.m. Sunday.
The final home game this season at Rogers Place before playoff action kicks off, starting at $20 a seat. Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
This summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
Step up to the plate with confidence this season with St. Albert's Source for Sports, your trusted experts in baseball. From the diamond to the dugout, get the latest from top brands like Mizuno, Victus, Marucci, Rawlings, and Easton. Suit up with new cleats, helmets, pants, and don't forget the gloves, because champions know that every catch counts and every play matters. At St. Albert's Source for Sports, they know the game and they have the gear to prove it. St. Albert's Source for Sports, your source for baseball gear over 35 years.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth EE football coverage. elksnation.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
We rolled through. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday afternoon. We have 2 spots left. We already filled them up, so we only got 2 left. It's $100. If you want in for the draw, you got a 1 in 3 chance to get a pair of seats. They're really good seats for tonight's game. We got 3 sets of them. 2 in row 11, 1 in row 17. They're all where the Oilers attack twice. Really nice seats. So if you want to go, just send in your name. Just say, I want in the draw. Then we'll send you the link where you can make the donation. And away you go. So we're looking for the next 2. And then once we get it filled up, then we'll do the draw. So you have ample time to get to the game tonight. Oilers and the Florida Panthers. As the Oilers are looking to win 3 in a row. They've only done it once this season. Heck, the Vancouver freaking Canucks have done it multiple times. The only team in the West who hasn't won 3 in a row twice is St. Louis. They've won 4 in a row once. The Oilers have won 3 in a row once. That's it. And they will go for it again tonight. And if they win, depending on what happens in the Golden Knights Mammoth game, the Oilers... Well, if they win, they're still automatically ahead of the Golden Knights. And if they win, they would finish the night again in first place in the Pacific Division. The Ducks last night lost in overtime. So Edmonton kind of, I guess, in a way, like they were tied. The Ducks are now 1 point up with a game in hand instead of 2 points up. So, the Ducks lost a chance for 2 points last night. The Oilers and the Ducks, big game next Saturday afternoon. The Oilers in Vegas next Thursday, a week tonight. Should be a big one. Meanwhile, the Oilers in between then, they got tonight, then Tampa on Saturday. The Lightning are on fire, especially, more so Kucherov is on fire than the Tampa Bay Lightning are. And then the Oilers are in Utah on Tuesday. So not a tight schedule by any stretch, but some big games coming up, especially next week, Utah, Vegas, Anaheim, and then they finish the month against the Seattle Kraken. That will be Seattle. Seattle starts tonight, a 6-game road trip, and that road trip ends on the 31st of March in Edmonton. So, Oilers, the schedule's there if they can take advantage of it. The schedule is there. So, Lance took the 9th spot, so we got 1 spot left. You want to get in? 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. We got, we'll get more from the head coach, but first we're going to go to Montreal, where we'll get in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Take action on your savings. Look at the sun out there, man. Isn't it glorious now? It's a great part about living in Alberta. You get a lot of sunshine. That means the solar, you get it on your house, you get it on your business. You are saving a lot of money. Get it set up, actionelectrical.net. Another one of the big games tonight is out east. The Montreal Canadiens, who come in tonight in 3rd place in the Atlantic Division. There are 2 back of Tampa Bay, but they're also only 2 points up on Boston and the Detroit Red Wings, who currently hold down both wild card spots. And tonight you got a great game, Detroit and Montreal, a classic original 6 in Detroit. Cole Caulfield, the first Montreal Canadian to score 40 goals since 1994. Could he go on a run and get to 50? They haven't had a 50-goal score since Stéphane Richer in 1990. I don't know if 10 goals down the stretch is that realistic. It's doable for sure, but who knows? Sean Campbell from TSN 690 joins us. And Sean, I have to admit, I was quite surprised crunching the numbers that the Habs really had the longest 40 goals scored drought in the NHL. It's kind of wild to think about.
Yeah, it's nuts with all the different players that have gotten in the 30s. Gallagher, a couple seasons in the 30. Pacioretty got to 39. Eric Cole, 35. Alex Kovalev, 35. No one hit 40 except for Cole Caulfield. And he did it with 15 games to spare. And you're right, that's the big question after the game. What's next? Can it be 50? 10 goals in 15 games is something Cole Caulfield could do, but it's going to be tight.
Yeah, you look at the Habs now. Like it's a tight division, man. You're like, hey, we're only 2 points out of second, and then you're like, yeah, but we're also only like 2 points up on 4th and 5th place. Like it's being competitive all year long. You look at this game and this matchup. How have the Habs matched up against the Red Wings this season?
They started the season with a nice big win against the Red Wings. So especially with Larkin and Kopp out, I like the matchup for the Canadians. I think on the back end, they're an older team, and the Canadian speed can get to them. John Gibson's been a Habs killer in the past. He's a guy that's had their number, so that's something you could circle in this matchup. But just like the game on Tuesday against the Boston Bruins, it's Thursday. This is the kind of type of the year you get into the final month. Every game you go into for the Canadians, the mentality should be it's the biggest game of the year. It's so big. You look at the stands. You mentioned how close they are from 9th to how close they are in 1st. That's the way it's been in the Atlantic Division, in the Eastern Conference all season long. So this is not new, the tightening of the standings for the Montreal Canadiens. And I know you were listing off the Oilers only winning 3 games in a row once. That's the reason why the Canadians are in the spot that they're in, because they have only lost in regulation 3 times in a row once this season. They lost both games on the weekend in regulation, which just doesn't happen to them. And then they came back with a big overtime win. So they always are accumulating points. And that's what you need to do to stay in the race. And I expect them to do the same thing in Detroit tonight.
Yes. You look at kind of how they're going as a team. That top line's been fantastic. Hudson on the back end's been great. Can you put your finger, Sean? Like, what happened to Montembeault?
That's a great question. It's kind of this thing where last year he was a guy, and one of the reasons why they made the playoffs, he played upwards of 60 games. They leaned on him. He got hurt at the end of the season. And Sam Montembeault, I think, he was a deeper pick. He was a 3rd-round pick. He was on waivers with Florida. They couldn't really fit him in between Bobrovsky, Spencer Knight, and then the Canadians gobbled him up. And when he came right away, it wasn't like he was vaulted into a starter's position. That evolved over 3 years, that Montembeault took over that job. Jake Allen was there. Caden Primo was the next guy that was going to be the next big thing after Carey Price, and he was going to be the next big star. That never really happened. So when they moved on from Jake Allen, it really became Sam Montembeault's team. And Sam Montembeault took the reins, and he ran it down the stretch, and then he got a full season. And I think the expectation was Montembeault and Dobeš this season will split. Montembeault probably a 50-30 split. He'll be the guy, but Dobeš will also learn, and then down the line it'll be Fowler. And earlier in the season, which was probably the best move the Canadians did, by the way, was they haven't had any injuries. Dobeš and Montembeault have been healthy all season long. In December, they just pulled the plug and said, Fowler's coming up. We're playing 3 goalies. Fowler's coming here to play. And his 2 to 3 weeks that he played, he won, he lost. He went on he got his first win, his first Saturday night in the Bell Center. He got his first road trip. He did all that. So now when they called him up this time, all that's done. All the first wins, all that hoopla, where do I go? What do I do? I'm a rookie. I don't understand. He's done it. He's just here to play and win. So, I think that the Canadians as an organization has set up Fowler to have success. but I don't think they expected that to happen so soon. And that had a lot to Montembeault. And the biggest thing with Montembeault is consistency. That's how you become a starter in the National Hockey League. You have to be consistent when you're in the goal. The inconsistency absolutely kills goaltending and number one goaltending. That's why you're a backup. That's why you're in the AHL. It's because you can't be a consistent starter. And for Montembeault, I don't know what's happened. It seems like it's a mental thing. Early goals in games, he can't bounce back. Then he goes and out in Laval for a bit. He comes back, has a couple pretty good games, then one bad goal. It just seems to accumulate. So right now, he's just not in the plans.
Who's starting tonight for the Habs in goal?
Dobesh. So maybe a little bit of a surprise on the Montreal front, but Dobesh looked great against Boston. All he does is win. He only has 7 regulation losses all season. If you look at the numbers, you could read goals against average save percentage if that's something that you love. But for the Canadiens right now, it's about wins and losses. And he wins games. And if you look at what he did in the third period against the Bruins, I think he deserved the start. I thought they were just going to bounce back and forth between Fowler and Dobesh until one really took the reins. But the coach has given him an opportunity in back-to-back games here. So he gets the big start against Detroit.
The one advantage you got to take advantage of tonight is the injuries to the Red Wings, especially down the middle, right? Like this is a team, obviously you got Nick Suzuki. That's a pretty big advantage. You throw in Deneau, like that's an area of the game that Montreal really should dominate. And, like Detroit, they did get that win and maybe a little bit of a stay of an execution for them, but they look to me like the one team that's most vulnerable. And if you're the Habs, you're like, God, we got to take advantage of a team that's without 2 of their top 3 centers.
Yeah, this is the game that, you circle. Detroit, they've kind of, with those injuries, they kind of thrown a little bit of, punch. They got a win. They got an overtime loss in their last couple of games. Sometimes an injury can rally the troops a little bit, but I think for the Canadiens going out on the road, a quick road trip, right? They were at home on Tuesday. They're back home on Saturday. So it's just a quick in and out of Detroit. I think they have to take advantage, get on this team early, take advantage of your speed and your skill. But it's not going to be easy because Detroit knows that's the one thing we've been saying all week about the Montreal Canadiens. Huge game for the Canadiens against the Boston Bruins. I could even go back to last week. Habs and Senators played last Wednesday. Huge game for the Habs and Senators, but it was bigger for the Senators. Huge game on Tuesday, Habs and Bruins, but it was bigger for the Bruins. Huge game tonight, Habs and Red Wings. It's a little bit bigger for the Red Wings because they're the team that's in the wild card spot. So you have to be wary of that. But if they're ready, I expect the Canadiens to pull out a couple points against Detroit tonight, especially with those injuries.
You look at the Habs, and let's say, right now, hey, they'd love to catch Tampa Bay and get second for sure.
Yeah.
But if you look at Tampa and Buffalo, would you, if you're the Habs, I know that Buffalo, they're having an unreal run. They've been the best team in the NHL here since December 1st. It's crazy, but they don't have a ton of playoff experience. If you're Montreal, do you match up better against the Sabres, the Lightning? I know you don't get to pick, but if you could, if they got the choice, is there one they'd rather play?
I think it's Buffalo. And I know it's hard to say watching the way that Buffalo is playing right now. Tampa, if you're going to handicap the East, at least in my point of view, no matter what Tampa does, if they finish first or second, they might falter a little bit. I still think they're that notch in the East. And then you get into however you feel about Carolina and Buffalo. And then you get into the feeling of how you feel about the Canadiens and Islanders and Pacers and whoever makes the wild card. But to me, I have Tampa at number 1. So I think that they would be one of the toughest outs when they come to the talent pool from a Kucherov, from the goaltending and Vasilevsky. The Sabres have been unreal. And at some point, you work so hard to get somewhere. Sometimes when you reach that destination, it's hard to keep it. So I'm curious how Buffalo is going to look when playoff time, circles around, and how they're going to finish the last month of the season here because they've been going so hard for so long. But I know that Tampa will be ready when the playoffs start, be it if they're in first, second, or third in the division. I don't think it really matters where they finish. I would probably still think Tampa would be the toughest out in the playoffs.
Brendan Gallagher, healthy scratch. You know what? That's just part of being an older player on a team now. Do you how regular do you think that's going to be down the stretch?
Right now, not at all because they're banged up. Kirby Dach's out 2 to 4 weeks. Josh Anderson's not playing tonight. He had a therapy day yesterday. He looked like he got banged up late in the game against Boston. He didn't practice yesterday, and he's day-to-day upper body injury. So right now he's not going to have it. But he had a conversation with the coaching staff. My colleague Mitch Gallo let us know that the coaching staff and Brendan Gallagher had a conversation down the stretch. If they're healthy, they're going to rest him to maximize him. Like, he will be there when the playoffs start, but they want to make sure that it's the best version of Brendan Gallagher. So, yeah, he sat against the San Jose Sharks. And, yeah, that's a little bit of an ego hit when the last time you were a healthy scratch was game one of your NHL career. You make the team, and then you're scratch, and you play game two. That was the last time. Ever since he's been healthy, he's been in the lineup. And 900 games is a pretty solid accomplishment that any NHL player wishes that they could reach. And he's earned it. You talk about a guy that, deep pick, not expected to make the team, scratch and claws, and then makes the team. Is he going to stay there? Then he scores 30. Top line guy, second line guy, third line guy, now a fourth line guy. I think, the Canadians know exactly who he is today, and they want to make sure he's ready for the playoffs. So he took it as professionally as Brendan Gallagher took it. He's competitive. Of course he doesn't like it, but it made him better, and I thought he was great against the Bruins.
One last one for you. I look up and down this lineup of the Canadians, and obviously, got the big four in Suzuki, Hudson, Caulfield, and Slavkovsky. The Meadoff is obviously produced very well as a rookie. Oliver Kapanen, I thought, had an excellent start, and even in the calendar year of 26, he's still like on a goal every 3 game.
Yeah,
for the Canadians. How much of an impact has Phil Deneau brought? He's playing about 15 minutes a night for the group, and what about Alex Carrier? Where do you see him in his role as far as level of importance?
Yeah, so those two players are very interesting. Alex Carrier, when he was picked up by Nashville, it really kind of seemed he was going to be filling that David Savard void when they were going to trade Savard at the deadline. They didn't trade Savard at the deadline; they just decided to keep them, but Savard retired, and then Carrier was filling that defensive defenseman, hard nose. Just not the size of David Savard. Alex Carrier came in, and I thought he fit perfectly on the blue line with the Canadians. This year's been a little bit more of a struggle for him, and he's had different partners. He's had to sit there and try and carry guys like 8-9 minutes from a Struble or Jackeye who are in and out of the lineup all the time. The top four, you know who they are. Carrier's 5, and he knows the role, but it's been a tougher season for him. I think it's one of the reasons why the Canadians were looking for a defenseman at the trade deadline on the right side, because to help out a guy like Carrier on the 4-5 role. As for Phil Deneau, the offense, he had no goals for LA. He was moving on from LA. He's dried up. He scored some goals for the Canadians, but if you look at them, a bounce off the wall here, a deflection here, you got to go to the right spots to score those goals. But offensively, there's not much there. But he's smart, and he wins faceoffs. And I think that takes a lot of pressure off a guy like Nick Suzuki and Jake Evans. They needed to find a solution by losing Christian Dvorak, and they brought in Deneau. I'm very curious what the future of Deneau is next year with $5 million. He's a UFA. Michael Hage coming up. You have your Suzuki, your Kapanen, your Evans signed. Where does Phil Deneau fit in next year? I know where he fits with this team. He's a fourth-line center. He's going to be out there. He's out there at overtime to win that opening draw and go to the bench. 6-on-5. He's out there on the ice because he's going to win that draw, and if they can't get the change, he just stays on and tries to score a goal. That might hurt them because they rather have, like who comes off in that situation that you can't get on if you're putting Deneau just to win the faceoff. But yeah, he's got the offense isn't there. He's a smart player, but he's slowed up a step, and he wins big faceoffs.
Yeah, well, yeah, key on draws, but if you're in a 6-on-5, yeah, you'd like to win the draw because if a guy like Kapanen, ice, right? Just using him as example.
But he's a guy that scored 20 goals. Why would he not be out on the ice? But he's not, and I don't expect him to be taking the face-off. But it's weird in the offensive zone. Deneau wins the draw 6-on-5, then runs to the bench. They win the draw. He stays. If they lose the draw and they clear, he'll go to the bench. But if they stay in the zone and there's 25 seconds left, it's not like he tries to make a beeline to the bench and then come up. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, Sean, enjoy the stretch run. It should be very entertaining every day, man. You're looking at the standings and you look at the probabilities and who's going to be here and who's going to be where. And who knows, depending on what Tampa Bay does tonight, the Habs could tie them. So we'll see what happens.
It's so interesting, the NHL standings. We love circling a team like Ottawa, right? Hey, Ottawa would be leading the Pacific Division, but they're 7 points out of a playoff spot. It's nuts.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for your time, Sean. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
There you go. That's Sean Campbell from TSN 690. Take a quick break. We'll return. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch, Matthias Ekholm, also Connor McDavid. We got 5 questions. George Richards from Florida to get the Panthers side of things. They're playing out the string, but make no mistake. Tonight, the Panthers are coming. All their veterans that are available are getting back in the lineup tonight. Mikula, Rodrigue, Losterinen. They all sat out in Vancouver. They're all playing tonight. Because this game matters. Trust me. They know. And when there's a rivalry, they want to show up. They've really haven't had much to play for here for a few weeks, and they're not going to have much to play for down the stretch. But this is a game. They will be ready. So the Oilers need to match it. And I would argue the Oilers, they need to be the initiator. They need to be the aggressor tonight. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Oodle Noodle origins.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turf. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
For the first time in 66 years, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey are on the move. During the 2026-27 Canada West season, 2 of the most successful hockey programs in U Sports history will call Silent Ice Center in Nisku their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, new temporary home. Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
A relaxing day at the lake without a Toyota Tundra can be noisy. But when you get a Tundra at your local Toyota dealer, you can take advantage of up to 11,000 pounds of towing capacity to find a quieter spot. That's better. Lease a 2026 Tundra 4x4 double cab SR5 from $149 weekly for 60 months at 5.29% APR with $8,199 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
This is the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Favorite us right now.
Powered by PlayAlberta.ca. If you gamble, use your game sense. Learn more at GameSense.ab.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers' push to the playoffs is on, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play score and win every game. See more at ontherocksyeg.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Little sandstorm for you. It's like Arkansas. If you had Arkansas, no upset. They are moving on. They beat Hawaii fairly handily. So it's a number 4 team. On through as you look at your bracket nervously, excitedly. Who knows? Some of you probably got a perfect bracket still. Enjoy the day. Enjoy it while you can, because you never know. MSU also nearing the end. Another number 3 team. They will move on fairly easily, leading by almost 20 points over NDSU. Only really been one upset so far today, and hey, no surprise. It's the number 12 versus number Wisconsin, the number 5 seed. They're out. High Point takes them out. That's the one major. Well, I guess is a 9-8. I guess technically it's an upset, but TCU over the Ohio State. So they weren't the Ohio State today. That's for sure. Oilers. We won't know officially until warm-up if Robbie Järventie will play his first game as a member of the Edmonton Oilers. He was recalled today on an emergency basis because Kasperi Kapanen is ill. And if Kapanen can't go, then Järventie will get in the lineup tonight. He did play 7 games with the Ottawa Senators back in 2023-24. Then, of course, got traded to the Oilers organization last year, and only played 2 games all of last season. Was banged up fighting injuries, and then it's come in this year and started a little slow in the fact that they weren't playing him back-to-back or anything. But he's gotten into 52 games now. He's got 17 goals. He's played pretty well. He's only 23 years of age. Big guy, 6'3", 210-pounder, can skate very well. Interesting though, if you do see him tonight. He's got a little bit of a shorter stick for a guy who's 6'3". It works for him. He can really shoot the puck, but it's kind of odd to see such a big guy with a little bit of a shorter twig. It was funny. Even Chris Novak was kind of joking around about that. So Robbie Järventie could play his first game with the Oilers' 8th game in the NHL later tonight. As let's hear from head coach Chris Knoblauch on a variety of things. First of all, he made the change. If you missed it, Connor McDavid is going to center Savoy and Podkolzin, and Chris Knoblauch explains the reason behind that decision.
Well, I think it all started in the last game against San Jose. I think we started off in the first period. Things went well. I know San Jose changed their lines in the second period, and obviously second period wasn't good for us. And then we made some changes in the third, where the biggest change was having Nuge center line, Dickinson, and McDavid and Henrique each having a line. So we're kind of going off of that, how we finished off San Jose, and then having some other tweaks and just mostly just moving Hyman and Podkolzin just to kind of share the scoring. Nuge and Hyman have worked well together when Nuge is centered the line. So that's where we're going with that.
Makes sense. You look at Szymanski, is he a better option at center than Dickinson, Nugent Hopkins, or McDavid? At this stage of his career, probably not. Down the road, I think he could be, but not right now. So we'll see. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 is where you can text us. Also, the head coach, just the tweaks on the power play, and obviously the challenge of doing it without McDavid. I mean, without Draisaitl.
Yeah, well, that's a huge hole not having Leon, whether it's being a playmaker or a goal scorer or entries. Probably the biggest thing is having entries and everyone getting into their spots. With Savoy out there, it's a different look just because of a right-handed shots and left side and what side we want. Savvy spending most of his time at. Today we got to work a little bit on power play. It's a little difficult in morning skates, but for the first game, I thought they did pretty good. Obviously, Nuge had the power play goal in the first period, but I thought there was a lot of generation there. So, it's going to be something that's just not going to pick up automatically, and it's something that we're going to have to work on.
Yeah. Like Leon Draisaitl not only is an unbelievable passer, he's a great shooter. Now, Nugent Hopkins did score the one-timer last game, so it's good. I think, and I did ask Connor McDavid, and we'll get to his thoughts about the power play and having, not having Leon on the power play and really, having a guy like Matt Savoy as a right shot. You haven't really had a right shot down low on that side. So, well, it's different. Does it create another opportunity? Because the one thing the Oilers power play has done over the last 5 years is teams haven't figured it out because the Oilers are always changing and evolving. So is this just another way to potentially change and evolve?
Of course, yeah. It's as I keep saying, we're in the thick of a playoff race, and it's going to take everybody to get us in, and you've seen that starting to happen.
So yeah, no, that wasn't it. Here's the McDavid. Cons, tell me when you got the one on about the difference on the. Okay, here we go. Here's him on the power.
Yeah, I thought we had some good looks. Obviously scored one. Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, he's a great power play player. He's the trigger guy for us, the shooter. So it takes all of us to be a little bit more dangerous, shoot the puck a little bit more, find different ways to score goals, and the power play still needs to be a factor. It does.
Well, yeah, the Oilers rely on their power play a lot. Now, last game, they got a lot of 5-on-5 scoring. You're never going to turn your nose up at that. And I don't know if you can expect that many 5-on-5 goals every game. Well, obviously you can't. You're not going to score 4 every game. But the Oilers overall, one game, so far so good. But tonight, probably a tougher test against a much more veteran team in Florida who's going to be fired up. Now we'll go back to Chris Knobloch. And he just talked about, now he's had a few weeks, and what has he seen, the areas of the impact and how Murphy and Dickinson help out defensively?
Well, a few things. Last few weeks, since after the break especially, there's been a lot of emphasis on playing better defensive hockey. And we changed our systems a little bit. We made some adjustments to maybe spend some more time in the defensive zone, but not giving up the grade A scoring chances or fewer of them. And then also with the trade deadline, adding responsible defensive players. And, Doc's been hurt. He's had just a couple of games, but with Murphy and Dickinson, obviously the role that they play and how much ice time they see, they've helped out with that defensive play a lot. And also with Goff there, he's been, giving the defense a lot of encouragement, a lot of feedback on what they should be doing to limit those opportunities and being able to move the puck out smoothly. So, I think of all those, for many reasons, we're looking better. And then on top of that, Ingram's, who's had the majority of the starts, has played really well and has made a lot of saves.
Yeah, Ingram's been solid. Lots of areas of their team have been better lately. But the big one that still is an area of concern is consistency. You look no further in the Dallas game. Good game against Vegas. Good game against Colorado. You're going for 3 wins in a row, and you get spanked. give up 7. The game wasn't even close. They were never in that game. They, you know what? Played actually a pretty good game against St. Louis, even though they lost. Controlled lots of that game. Now they've won 2 in a row again. Can they get the consistency? This is where you need it. You can't have another lay an egg game like you had against Dallas. You can't just be, we're good for 2, then we lose, right? Can't keep doing it. You need to get on a run here at some point. Okay, trust me. I looked it up at all the Stanley Cup winners. No one's won a cup without winning 3 in a row in the playoffs. And a lot of times they're winning 3 in a row multiple times, 6 in a row, 5 in a row, 4 in a row. It happens. Right? You can't just win 2 in a row. I know someone say, Gregor, you win 2, lose 1, win 2. You're going to, yeah. Except it's never happened in the salary cap era. So don't give me I get the theory. I'm talking practical. It's not practical. You got to get on a run. You get some confidence, right? Maybe you split the first 2, you win 3 straight. You win in 5. The Oilers have won, like they won last year. I got to go back and look, but I think it was like they had 4 different stretches of winning 3 in a row. But you got to be able to do it. And that's been one of the biggest problems for the Oilers all season long. And now we'll see if they can figure it out. What did the coach see as maybe the biggest difference in Savoy's game before the Olympic break and what he's seen since coming back where he has 10 points in 11?
A little more jump in his step. I think he's always been a quick player, fast, but having a little more jump to his step and probably having that extra step gives him a little more confidence, a little feeling of a little more space to make plays. I've seen that a lot on the breakouts, getting off the wall and making little touch passes to McDavid. So whether he's playing with McDavid or whoever he was with, I saw him being able to do that. But I think just being fresh and being able to just gives himself a little more time with the puck.
He's been really good, like almost a point a game player since the Olympic break, which is great news for the Edmonton Oilers. What about the wrapped up intensity? Knobloch knows, he's been there, right? I'm sure. Hey, if Knobloch could get on the ice, he'd probably do it. It's a former player. Like, when you lose to a team that's crushed your heart 2 years in a row, there's going to be the wrapped up intensity. And I know some people say, don't go overboard. When have the Oilers ever gone overboard? I don't agree with that question. This team does not have a reputation of not controlling their emotions. If anything, I would argue they control them too much. If there was ever a time to be the bully and to be the initiator, I think it would be tonight.
The intensity right now is for making the playoffs. We got a lot of teams in our Pacific Division that we want to either catch or keep teams below us. I think with our team, that's where our focus is winning hockey games so we can get to the playoffs, so we can hopefully have another playoff run. It doesn't matter who the opposition is right now. The games are so important right now that we need to win hockey games. And, I believe we have 13 games left, and we need to win as many as possible. So yes, it's a team that we saw in the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row, but I think it's just so much right now. It's so important to look at the standings.
True, but you can do both. Other teams find ways to be aggressive and to win games. It doesn't have to be, we can't play aggressive because we might take too many penalties and then we're going to lose the game. Right? I don't really see it that way. 4:40. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got 5 questions. We're just waiting on our final donor, and then we'll get to the draw for the tickets for the Oilers game coming up tonight. We got 3 pairs. We're going to have 3 winners going to the game. I love it. And we raise some money for the Gregor Foundation. So thank you very much. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noodle. Noodle, 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 noods. Noodle, 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 noodle. Troll will load down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports. At least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Carius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
If we win the $46,000 early bird, I'll be nicer.
Really?
Well, mostly.
All right, I'll take it.
You know what's nice? Tickets are only $30, and every ticket helps support kids through free mentorship and after-school programs. Don't miss out. The early bird deadline is March 19th at bigbrothersdreamhome.org.
Lottery license 745563 and 745562. Please play responsibly.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Contractors, spring cleanup is coming. It's time to get your lawnmowers, aerators, power rakes, lawn vacs, and more serviced at the Lawnmower Hospital. Hey, the longer you wait, the longer you'll have to wait in line later. Their service department gets crazy busy as the season rolls on, so get in now while it's calm. For quick service on top brands like Bluebird, Ryan Turf, Husqvarna, and more, check out lawnmowerhosp.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athletic Care offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Well, if you're a Detroit Red Wings fan, good news. It's like Kopp is going to play tonight. Took the warm-up, and Ansar Khan reporting that Kopp is in. So no Larkin, but Kopp will come in. He's going to center Appleton and Casper as the Red Wings in a dogfight taking on the Montreal Canadiens tonight. Man, it's not playoff hockey, but you can it starts to ramp up a little bit. There's more urgency. I don't know if you watched any of that Pittsburgh-Carolina game last night, but that game was nuts. So it's fun. And then Oilers fans, you'll be watching, obviously, the out-of-town scoreboard. Eastern Conference games are more exciting. It doesn't really impact your team. But Kraken are hosting the Predators. The Oilers, I think, are pretty comfortable. They're not secured yet, but you got a 5-point lead on all those teams battling. And what if the Preds win tonight? They'll tie the Kraken with 71. Then after the Oilers game, Starting an hour later, you have the Lightning, who will be here on Saturday. They're in Vancouver. The Mammoth are in Vegas. The Sharks are hosting the Sabres, and the late game gets going around 10:40 Edmonton time. The Kings hosting the Flyers. The Flyers did the Oilers a favor last night as Anaheim lost to them in overtime. And hey, could they do them another favor tonight? We'll see. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. We're saving you more. That's what they do right now. The Price is Right live. Over $300,000 in savings. Get in there. It's your last chance to win. The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, game day tradition. Let's get your official bold prediction and score prediction as the Oilers take on the Panthers.
Oh God, the Oilers got to win tonight, don't they? 3 in a row. Yes, I will say the Oilers are victorious. 4-3. And there's a fight.
I like it. Yeah, 3 in a row. That complicates things. I'm going to go with you. 4-3 Oilers win, but in overtime. And bold prediction, Connor McDavid, 3 points, 2 goals. So he gets to all his milestones. 400
crazy.
400 career goals, 800 career assists, 1,200 career points. All 3, 1 game. Question number 2 for you. Matthew Tkachuk in town tonight. So that brings up the question. In your eyes, who's the best hockey villain? This could be personal bias as well, not just, amongst the masses.
Go ahead.
I said that because for me, Darren Hatcher. Always grew up. He was the big bad bully with the Dallas Stars. Good player, but mean. The more you watch, the more you kind of respect his game. But man, just did not like the Hatcher brothers because of Darian.
Man, there's a few, and this is tough for different reasons. Like Matt Cook, right? Alf Samuelson took out a few knees, but I'm probably going to go with Claude Lemieux. Like, he was despised by a lot. Now, he did finally fight in that against Detroit, but man, his play on Draper's face. Like, Tkachuk, when you think about it, has Tkachuk really cheap shot anyone like that bad? No. So that's why he can't be on the top of my list. He's annoying. Oilers fans hate him, but I think Claude Lemieux would probably be number 1 for me.
We do have some Oil Kings tickets that we're going to be giving away in the next couple of days here. We've done so already on the station, Gregor. With that being said, who are your top 3 Oil Kings of all time?
Top 3 Oil Kings of all time. That's a good question. Now, it's not necessarily who went on to the best career, just who is. Well, I'm still going to go with Curtis Lazar. I think he'd be on the list for sure. Lauren Brossoit. And who else would I have? Michael St. Croix. I'll probably go with him.
Yeah, tough to disagree. St. Croix, franchise leader in points and goals. Let me go away from you then. Griffin Reinhart.
Yeah.
I'll take TJ Foster, and sticking with that era, Dylan Ruck. Loved watching St. Croix, Foster, and Ruck on the power play. So I'll go with those 3 just to differentiate from yours a little bit. Question number 4. Daniel Jeremiah obviously does great work with the NFL Network, former scout. In his latest mock draft, he has Canadian Akeem Messidor going 15 to the Buccaneers. The knock on Messidor might be, for some, that he's going to be 25 years old when the season starts. For you, does the age ever get to be a point where it's a concern, and would this concern you at all?
Go ahead.
A little bit for me. Obviously, if you get a guy at 22, you're probably a little less worried about giving him that second contract, assuming he pans out. When Messidor, if he's a first-round pick, gets that next deal, he's going to be 30 years old. And I think that kind of gets to the negotiating. It gets a little bit interesting there with an aging player, depending on what he does. So age is a factor for me. It's not going to stop me from taking the best player available if I'm in that spot. But in this situation, if I have a guy close, I might consider taking a guy who's 22.
Okay. I look at it this way. The average career length of a national football player is 3.4 years. That's the average length. So I'm like, if I think this guy at 25 is going to be a better player, I don't care about his age, because on average, he's not playing past 30. Like, that's the harsh reality of it, man. Like, I think if he's the best player, I'm not worrying about age, because if he ends up getting his second contract, you said, Cons, when he's 30, great, right? That means now he's in 5 years, he's still playing at 30. That's above average. So I'm not worrying about it, because he's currently 24 now. So he turns 25. When's his birthday? August, I think, or something like that. I can't remember the date, but I'm going to say doesn't matter to me. It's maybe he's a little bit of a late developer, like there is in lots of sports. If he's that good, let's go with Messidor at 50.
I think Declan has it there. Average career of a first round pick, though, is 9.3 years.
Oh, okay.
So if you take him in the first round, only get 4, not great. But
why are you only getting 4? Like, why are you ruining it out that he can't? Why can't he sign at 29?
well, if we're just going with averages, if that's all he is. But no, I mean, it wouldn't stop me from taking him, because I think if you get 7 years out of him to 32, 33,
sure,
you're happy. I am intrigued though by that second contract, and if he has a good career, what it looks like, assuming there's no drop off, shouldn't make a big difference. Final question for you. Bruce Willis turning 71 years old today. This guy's got a crazy amount of movies. Of all of them, do you have a couple favorites that stand out?
Oh, buddy, Bruce Willis has so many good movies. Like, God, that is a really tough question. So, I say Dead People. It's classic. Like, how do you not go with Die Hard, right? Like, that's obvious. But I'm actually going to go with The Last Boy Scout, because I quite liked it. I'm going with Sixth Sense, and I'm not going with the obvious ones because I think it's obvious. Like, Die Hard's kind of in its own category, so I don't want to necessarily even include that one. And then I'm going to go with the comedy, The Whole 9 Yards.
Yeah, guy's got range, no doubt about that one.
Actually, I stopped. 12 Monkeys. What am I doing? 12 Monkeys for sure. Sorry, Whole 9 Yards. You're out. I forgot about 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, you know what? Pulp Fiction is one for me that I think kind of has to be in there. Just all the different stories intermingling. I enjoy that. Armageddon is a movie I really used to rip on, but then it was on TV a couple weeks ago and I couldn't turn it off. So I got to put Armageddon in there as well. And then another one, 16 Blocks. It's one with Mos Def. An interesting one. Probably didn't get the biggest hype or anything like that one, but I enjoyed it. Good, cool storyline. Just basically he and Mos Def trying to get him to a certain point, keeping him safe.
Okay. We got a lot of tech. Hey, Gregor, what about Dylan Guenther? Yeah, no, he was good, man. He was really good. You could make an argument that Gunther's probably going to be the best NHLer amongst Oil King alumni to date. Right? Like this guy could score 40 goals this year. He's a really good player. He had like the really one dominant year for the Oil Kings. And obviously, his kind of time got shortened. I think it was was it the 21 season? Like, he only played 12 games, I think, right? So that really sucked for him. But
goal per game, he was of the modern Oil Kings top. So
goals per game,
yeah,
no, he's the best goal scorer for sure. So yeah, that's a total valid argument if you want to have him in there for sure. We've got a lot of votes for Jake Neighbors as well, and lots of people on. Hey boys, top Oil Kings: Ed Joyle, Pat Quinn, Glenn Sather. I like it, Lauren. Going back in time, that's totally valid. We were probably using the current era, but it's totally fair if you want to go back to the original Edmonton Oil Kings. I like it. I love it. Different generations. Good answer. Really good answer. We got a lot of Fifth Element votes too for Bruce Willis. That was another good one. I don't think you've seen that movie, have you, Cons?
No.
Oh, buddy, you got to watch it. Fifth Element's great. Really good movie.
Is Chris Tucker in that too?
Oh, Chris Tucker is actually really good in that movie. So Fifth Element was it was awesome. A kind of different movie of its kind. Gary Oldman's in it. Good villain. Mila how do I say her name? Jovovich. I think it's Jovovich. Either one. But Chris Tucker as oh God, what was his name? Is it Rudy Robb? Rudy Rod, something like that. Is he now? Oh, buddy, he was like with his voice. Like he played his character very well. Sick haircut that he had in that movie too. Sick haircut. So I like it. We'll come back. When we return, we're going to do our draw. Someone's going to go to the game. We also have Mark Spector. We're going to hear from George Richards, Florida Panthers. They're out of it, but they're not just going to roll over tonight. I hope it's an emotional game. I think it should be an emotional game. You should still you should always have a little anger and hatred for the team that stole your dream. You can do two things at once. You can still play well and play intense. It can happen. And maybe the Oilers win 3 in a row for the second time this season. Let's get to the Con Man and Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC and their brand new Autoplex. They guarantee you will. They don't sell vehicles that are Florida Panther colors. Refuse to do it. They don't have it. They got everything else, just not that. But they got great deals right now at northgategm.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
In case you missed it, the Oilers placing Leon Draisaitl on the LTIR with a lower body injury. The team also recalled Robbie Yarvendi from the Bakersfield Condors. Edmonton taking on the Panthers tonight just after 7. Pre-game coverage at 6 with Andrew Walker. Elsewhere on NHL tonight, you got the Jets and the Bruins, Sens, Islanders, Canadians in Detroit. Jackets host the Rangers, Wild up against the Blackhawks, Preds in Kraken, Canucks host the Lightning, Mammoth in Sin City, Sharks host the Sabres, and the Flyers taking on the Kings in the association. Getting going shortly. Hornets host the Magic. Wizards take on the Pistons. The Lakers are in Miami. Clippers battle the Pelicans. Spurs host the Suns. Bucks in Utah. And it's the Kings up against the 76ers. March Madness officially underway. Just one game on right now. VCU leading North Carolina 8-5. Very early on. Duke survived a scare from Siena, coming back to win 71-65. Nebraska gets past Troy 76-47. Upset of the day, number 12 High Point beating Wisconsin, the number 5 seed 83-82, and Vanderbilt gets past McNeese 78-68. Later on, you have Houston taking on Idaho, Gonzaga meets Kennesaw State, St. Louis up against Georgia, and Illinois meets number 14 Pennsylvania. In the PWHL, Seattle's in Montreal. Puck drop in about 5 minutes time. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet, also Florida Panthers beat reporter George Richards, and we'll hear the latest edition of Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
He's a legend in the booth and a master on the mic. Low Tide brings the banter weekdays from noon to 2. Sports 1440 is where Edmonton talks sports. Get in the game. Text 833-401-1440.
The Price is Right Live is at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Conditions apply. See in store for details.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Got that feeling? The one that makes you want to roll the windows down and just drive? A puddle! That's not just spring fever, that's a sign that it's time to visit Nisku Ford. They've got the cure for your driving fever with their biggest offers of the year. Get rebates as high as $12,000 on select new models, or drive away with 0% interest. Don't just dream about the open road, own it. Find your cure for spring fever at niskuford.ca. Above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
We continue on. Lovely Thursday afternoon. It's game day. There's March Madness. Hopefully your bracket's still intact. Really only one big upset so far. Not major. Number 12 over number 5. High Point is in. That's really the only upset so far. Duke, they're pushed a little bit. They were trailing, I think, at most by 11 points at one point, but came back and won. Now we're going to do the draw. So Andrew, Adam, Michael, Angela, Lance, Ryan, Jacob, Brad, Darcy, Tony, you guys are in. Ladies, you're in. We'll do the draw. You got 3 chances to win here. So here's our trusted draw box. Move everything around. Here we go. First name out. I'll show it on screen. Angela, congratulations. You are one. Next name out of the box is Brad A. Last name out of the box. And the winner will be, what is going on here? Mix those up. I don't want to stick at the bottom of the box, eh? Here we go. Jacob. So, Jacob, we will get a hold of all 3 of you and get your emails, and we will send you the ticket. So, thanks, everybody, for playing. Thanks helping out the Gregor Foundation, and 3 happy winners going to the game tonight. I like it. Awesome stuff. 5:05, it is the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. Oilers, Panthers tonight. One of many games, there's 11 games tonight. 10 of them have playoff seeding implications. The only one that doesn't is the Chicago-Minnesota game, because Minnesota is locked in to the number 3 spot. I think they're 12 points up on Utah. Utah is not catching them. Meanwhile, they are 6 back of the Dallas Stars, and Dallas has a game in hand, and Minnesota only has 13 games left, so pretty unlikely. Minnesota's actually only won 4 of their last 10. A little bit of a funk for them, maybe because they don't really have much to play for. So we'll see. Let's get to the spec report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. If you are looking for a career change or looking for a new gig, guess what? Go to gsconstruction.ca. They're hiring top men, hiring operators, even those who are just looking to get into the workforce. gsconstruction.ca. Look up careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, how you doing?
Doing great, man. What's going on? I look forward to a hockey game tonight.
Oh, man. Hey, we'll see. Florida, all the guys who sat out their veterans in Vancouver, they're all back in the lineup tonight. Matthew Tkachuk said, yeah, this is not a hard game to get up for. Even though they got nothing to play for, this is kind of one of the few games down the stretch where, you can get emotionally engaged. And Edmonton's got to match it. And I think they have to they got to come out spec. Like I would start my 4th line. Honestly, like I set the tone here. They played really well last game. You don't start your fourth line very often. I would do it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm all for it, man. Send them out there, get the crowd going, maybe lay down a couple of body checks here and there. Sure, I mean, it's hockey. You can start whoever you want. It's more of a mood thing than it is a strategy thing. So sure, I'm all with it, man. Start the fourth line.
Yeah, why not? You look at the Oilers, and I guess kind of makes sense. And we saw it last game to go back to Nugent Hopkins, Dickinson, and McDavid, and Henrique as your centers, and Szymanski goes to the wing.
Yeah, I saw that today. It looks like he's switching a few things around. He's got Puck Colson up playing with McDavid as well, by the looks of it. So there's some goofy stuff happening. I'd be interested to see if Robbie Yarventia plays. I was standing there talking to Nico Mikkola in the Florida dressing room when Jack Michaels came in with Robbie Yarventi's name and asked Nico, how do you think you would pronounce this as a Finn? And he gave him the pronunciation, and Jack was like, oh, man, this is way harder than I thought it would be. It's not just Robbie Yarventi. It's like Robbie Yarventia.
Oh, Yarventia. Okay, I like that. Hey, you know what? You got to say the guy's name right. Nothing worse than Bertrand, so it's Yarventia. Okay, we'll remember that.
The Finns always pronounce like we say Helsinki. The Finns say Helsinki, right? They emphasize the first syllable. So it's not Yarventi like we would call him. It's Yarventi. For what it's worth, I'll bet you Jack says it just the way we thought he'd say it, because if I was him, I probably would too. But anyway, it'd be fun if he played. We've heard a lot about this cat from down there. He hasn't been, I saw him in preseason, but you see a lot of things in preseason. So it'd be fun if he played. I don't know what the status of Kapanen will be. I think this is based on a Kapanen illness, correct? If Kapanen is healthy, he's playing. If he's sick, he's not playing. So a couple of changes at the rink tonight, and that's good. Just because you win a couple games, I've always thought it doesn't mean you just stick with the exact same lineup and do the exact same things. Start the fourth line, mix the soup around a little bit, change things up. There's nothing wrong with that.
No. The Panthers, you listen to their head coach, Paul Maurice, and to their players, like, hey, I like Tkachuk. He was pretty honest. Hey, man, I have a lot of respect for him, but there's a lot of hate on both sides, like probably maybe even more in Edmonton, because, Florida definitely hasn't hid their arrogance and cockiness after winning. No question. Hey, when you win, hey, whatever. You can do what you want. People can hate it, but the Panthers won. There's not much you can do. Do you think the Oilers, we saw, Greer had that, a little bit of the kind of the body slam of Frederick in that last game. There's a lot of reasons why this game should be emotional.
Oh, for sure. Listen, 2 years in a row, go back through hockey history. There aren't many times in hockey history the same two teams played. And the same team won them both. So I guarantee you there should be, from Edmonton's standpoint, every time, I'm for sure, every time the Oilers and Connor McDavid see that jersey, their temperature rises a couple of degrees, and it should, right? That jersey's taking something away from you. And the hockey players that I know, you don't just forget about that stuff. Then there's the Tkachuk factor. He's worn the black hat in this town better than any guy I can think of in years and years and years, right? When he was a Flame, when he's on the ice as a Panther, when the game's over as a Panther, when he goes to the Olympics, he's still plays the ugly American. So, any team with Matt Tkachuk on it should raise the ire of a bunch of guys wearing the Oilers jersey. I certainly hope it does. Certainly hope it does.
Spec, that's fair. When you look at the Oilers, I thought overall fairly solid game against the Sharks. There's a little bit of a hiccup in the second period, and you'd like to avoid that if you can. There's still they haven't been consistent. Like last week is a perfect example. Really good game in Vegas. Really good game in Colorado. Stinker in Dallas. Now they come back, 2 more wins again. And I know some, math can tell you don't have to win 3 in a row in the playoffs, except every Stanley Cup winner has done it multiple times in the salary cap era. The Oilers, the one thing that, even though their defensive game is better here, their consistency is the one, to me, the biggest question mark of this team.
Yeah, well, it's to get to this stage of the season. and be looking for your second 3-game winning streak, and you've never won 4. That's, there's a stat for you. How many, like the Oilers could win their division, and how many teams could win a division and never win 4 in a row? Like, it's unheard of. And that speaks to consistency. It speaks to the fact they haven't been able to roll the same game out enough times in a row. They're on a pretty good run of that right now. Like, Vegas, good. Denver, good. Dallas, no good. Right. And then St. Louis was a good game. They played a good hockey game for 50 minutes. Then they come home, they give you 2 more good hockey games. So this is at a time of year when the other guys are, I always say, don't forget, the other guys are trying too. And at this time of year, the other guys are really trying. That game against San Jose, that meant a lot to San Jose the other night, right? That was an important game for the Sharks that they, couldn't win here. So, let's see it. Like, they haven't been able to do it in October, November, December, January, February. Let's see if it starts in March and it runs through April, this good play. That's all that matters to me, man. Be playing well when you get in the playoffs. I don't care what you did in November. And if they find their game now, it's probably the best time of year for it.
Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Oilers hosting the Panthers tonight. Connor Ingram will start his 4th game in a row. He might get this whole homestand, especially if he plays well tonight. I don't think they would switch out. I still think he was going to get the Utah game. That's just my thought, but we'll see. I think he's going to get, or even, I guess maybe that one of those Vegas Anaheim games, which I know Oilers fans are like, what the hell are you doing playing him then? I just, it's 2 and kind of a late evening game with travel and then a Saturday afternoon. So maybe they would do it. We'll see. But maybe he plays them all, Spec. Like, it wouldn't be the first goal. He just goes 7 in a row. And if he's playing that well, like Chris Knobloch went out of his way, I noticed in his press conference, to talk about Ingram, which is usually a sign of the coach is pretty happy with how you're doing.
Well, this is a coach that hasn't had goaltending that he's liked all season. Let's face it. This is, and coaches and goaltending is a very, like in my career, it's always been a really interesting dichotomy, because goalies cost coaches jobs. You can have a crappy 4th line, it doesn't cost you your job. You got a bad goalie or bad goaltending, and sometimes you find yourself on the outside looking in and you go, man, my GM never gave me a goalie, and here I am looking for work. So the opposite is true. When you're Knobloch and you haven't had it, and now you're getting it finally, right? And I don't care if it's Jari, if it's Ingram, nobody cares what the guy's name is. Just give me goaltending. And so this head coach is finally getting goaltending his team can win with. His team is finally delivering a proper defensive game in front of that goalie. They're probably finally playing sound, hockey that can win. I know he knows, and his goalie coach is telling him, we got to give this guy a start somewhere along the way. But this head coach is not dying to hand out that hope start to Jari at this point. It's too late in the season to be giving guys start and hope that they're any good. It's going to be hard to find a spot, Jay, down the road here for this start we're talking about.
Yeah, no, that is well,
right?
It's fair, but at some point you got to do it, right? Everybody plays their backup, even if their backup isn't playing great. At some point, you got to hope that he can play well. And you've talked about it before. Maybe they owe him a decent defensive game from the guys in front of him, and away we go.
There's one back-to-back left this year, but it's not for a while. Like,
no.
It's not till later in April.
Yeah, April 7th and 8th, I think it is, or 8th and 9th, whatever that week. It's in Utah again. Funny enough, they have they played 2 games against Utah, both on the road here. One next week, and then one in a week and a half later back in Utah. Right. I don't know if you watched any of the Carolina Pittsburgh game last night, but it was wild. But 4 of the 6 games needed extra time. Spec. We're up now to basically 26% of games are going to overtime. It's actually up to 29% here in the last 2 weeks. What is it? And like, what do you make of this? It's going to be the most games going to overtime or a shootout in NHL history, right? It's on pace for almost 350. So there's more points in the standings. Like, I don't love the 3-point game when other games are 2 points and some are 3. I hate it. I don't think it's changing anytime soon. But what do you make? Are you concerned? Do you think it's just an outlier that suddenly we're seeing such an increase in extra time?
Well, a little both. So when you say 26%, that's from the start of the season. 26% have gone into overtime.
Start of the season, yes.
And 29% in how long?
The last 2 weeks.
Okay, so let's just over a quarter of games, 1 out of every 4 game goes extra time. So, I mean, this is what this really is. If I could put on Gary Bettman's hat right now, this is his definition. We call it parity. He doesn't use that word. He uses the words competitive balance. That's Gary's term. And that's what this is. This is, there's more teams with playoff chances. There's more teams who this year, later in the season, whose fans can say, oh, this game's still important, right? When in fact, is Ottawa really in the playoff race? I'm asking you, is Winnipeg really in the playoff race? But Gary acts for the owners, and the owners want to sell tickets, and tickets get sold when your team's got a chance, and when your team's done, like the Rangers, they don't get sold. So that's what they want. So I guess my point to you, Jay, is this. I'm all for new things and new solutions and trying to find different ways to skin this cat. Great. Change the points. Our buddy Pierre LeBrun's been trying to change the points for 20 years.
Yeah.
But anything that eliminates teams faster from playoff contention and the belief that they got a shot, anything like that, it will never, ever happen in the NHL. That's not the game they're playing here, Jay.
Yeah, no, it's very true.
So what do you think? Like, what's your solution to this?
Well, it's only 1 year, so I'm like, is it only 1 year? That's, because I don't like to overact. It's like all the people, oh my God, go to 1-8, go to 1-8, right? They're all screaming it. And I'm like, you know what? We've seen 1 day before. And the truth of the matter is, for most years, there hasn't been like, the winner in one division and then the winner in the other division, they're usually 1-2. So that would, if you have 1-2, they're playing 7 and 8 right now. So that's not going to change. It's really only 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. And all it does is increase travel significantly. That's all it does.
That's
right? And you look at last year, if you would have went 1-8 instead of what they did, because all that would have happened is you would have had teams separated by 1 point that were now traveling. So Winnipeg still would have taken on St. Louis. That wasn't going to change. Vegas was going to take on Minnesota. It didn't change. Dallas would have played Edmonton. LA would have played Colorado. Colorado and Edmonton were separated by a point. LA and Dallas were separated by a point. So all you do is add a significant amount of travel for 1 point, right? Like I don't think it really makes a big difference. If you look in the East, that the bad teams played the bad teams. No one, like Toronto, hey, they were playing Montreal either way, right? Wasn't going to change. So I don't know. I don't get that. It's Washington playing Montreal, not Toronto. But Toronto played Ottawa. So A, good rivalry game. B,
and that's what I want. Like, to me, the system, one of the major reasons they went to this divisional system is for rivalries. Now, I get it. The Oilers have played LA every year, and we're all sick of LA for sure. But, under this set of scheduling, that easily could have been Vancouver or Calgary that were playing every year. And we would have loved that, right? Like, why am I playing Dallas, who I play 3 times a year, instead of Vancouver or LA, that's a divisional rival that I play 5 times a year or whatever it is these days, right?
It'll be 4 next year, everybody, because they move up to 84 games.
Next year it's 4. But my point is, I respect the divisional rivalry. I like the fact that you play playoffs against, and again, it should be regional. We've had bad luck in Edmonton. We haven't got enough Vancouver and Calgary. But the spirit of this schedule is we're far more likely, it's a higher percentage, we're going to get Edmonton, Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver than the other way. I don't want Edmonton, Utah in the first round. I don't want Edmonton, Denver in the first round. I don't want that. I want Edmonton, Calgary if I can have it.
I'm totally with you. Like we got to meet him in the second round. First of all, there's no guarantee you meet in the second round. We've seen that all the time. Like this garbage, they could meet later. Are you sure they're going to win? Are you guaranteed they're going to win? Like we've never seen a 7 and 8 upset somebody before. So I don't buy that argument anyway. Like, hey, this year it's very weird. There's no arguing that, Minnesota, hey, they're the number 3 team. Doesn't happen very often that they're number 3 in the conference, right? It's just rare. But I'm not going to overreact to a one-time thing, right? If it came all the time, you look in the East, it's Carolina and Buffalo are 1-2, and they're both in their own. So they're going to take on who's ever 7 and 8. And, right now you'd have Tampa Bay, Montreal. Well, everybody's too close. I can't even predict because, Tampa's at 86, Montreal and Pittsburgh at 84. So
Right.
would you have Tampa go out of their division for 1 point? Like,
Yeah, no.
it just doesn't make sense to me. It's an anomaly, and all it takes is a little bit of research. But people would rather just yell and scream all the time about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Better.
yeah.
It's not better because they're all like, "Oh, you have 100-point teams out in the first round." I'm like, no bleep, Sherlock. You had 100-point teams out the first round when you had 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. It's nothing different.
Yeah. You're just discovering the internet, are you? People would rather just yell and scream rather than figure out the truth.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
welcome to Twitter, buddy.
Spec, hopefully we see some fireworks tonight. I'm not holding my breath, but I would sure like to see an intense, disdain-filled game between the Oilers and the Panthers.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen a few scraps down at the bar. Let's hope.
Yeah, awesome. See you there, Spec.
All right.
It's Mark Spector. Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Take a quick break. We'll come back. And George Richards will join us. We'll talk about the Panthers who come to town, short a few guys, but they still would love nothing more than to give another little jolt to the Edmonton Oilers and just say, hey, just so you know, even though we're not in the playoffs, we can still beat you. And if you're the Edmonton Oilers, that is the last thing you want to have happen. You don't want Kachuk having more ammunition to beat you. So win tonight. We'll discuss it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call-solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
When it comes to sports in Edmonton, Jason Gregor is a must-listen. He brings you the inside scoop with guests from across North America. If it matters in sports, you'll hear it here first. Gregor rolls out weekdays from 2 to 6 on Sports 1440.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
The Price is Right, live at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Some conditions apply. See in store for details. Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Curious to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. For a limited time, get your favorite large specialty pizza from Papa John's for only $19.99. Use promo code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$28. Oh, man, wouldn't it be nice to have a little fiery game tonight? Like, when was the last time you had a game, Oilers fans, where it was passionate, there was goals, there was big hits, there's a few tilts? Like, come on, it just adds to it. We all know it does. It's been a while. I would like to have one soon. And, hey, maybe tonight. You know the Panthers, even though they obviously have nothing to play for in the standings, you know, they talked about, hey, we've got a culture here. We don't want to just let it go away from 1 year, that you have to play hard. You play for your teammates. You show up, and you know what? They'll think about next year. Now, easier said than done. I get it. But in a game like tonight, you don't have to manufacture to get up. You know the other team doesn't like you. And the Panthers, you know their personality. They would love nothing more than to just grease the Oilers one more time in their own building and get a win. There's no doubt in my mind that that's what they would like to do. So I get to the oil report, brought to you by Go Auto. 15,000 vehicles. Choice, not a problem. Service, not a problem. At 71 locations, goauto.ca. Find your ride today. As we're going to be catching up with George Richards momentarily, a longtime beat reporter for the Florida Panthers. The Panthers, in case you missed it, Mikkola, Rodrigue, Luostarinen, none of them played in Vancouver. They're all in the lineup tonight for the Panthers. Now, Barkov's still not here. Marchand is not here. And Reinhardt's not here. But another Reinhardt, Cole Reinhardt, will be in the lineup. He has a T in his last name. But you still got Bennett and Tkachuk and Verhaeghe. Lundell will play with Boquist and Luostarinen. Rodriguez with Samaskowicz and Greer. Nosek with Cunnin and Reinhardt. And then Forsling and Ekblad. Mikkola and Jones. Kulikov. And the local boy, Michael Benning, will play his fourth NHL game, first in his hometown team. Of course, he's from St. Albert. And a younger brother of former Oiler, Matt Benning, son of Brian and Caroline, and he'll get in tonight. Should be a lot of fun. Bobrovsky, of course, gets the start. Meanwhile, for the Oilers, McDavid's going to center Savoy and Podkolzin. Nugent Hopkins with Roslovic and Hyman. Dickinson between Szymanski and either Kapanen or Järventie. But, you know, Kapanen's got an illness. We'll see. If he can play, then basically Järventie just travels for the day, and then he's got to be loaned right back. That's how it works when you're up on an emergency recall. Henrique between Frederick and Jones. Now, they could just move Järventie to a normal recall, because you do have 5, and they've only used 1 in Doc. So they could do that. And actually, I think by theory, but I think if they keep 1 up, then all the other emergency recall guys, they get that status removed. So they probably wouldn't do that. Echo and Bouchard, Nurse and Murphy, Wallman and Stastny. Ty Emberson is a possibility for Saturday, according to Knobloch. He was skating with the group today. So tomorrow may be a full practice. But if not Saturday, then I would think for sure next Tuesday against Utah. I could see why they look and say, hey, we get another 4 days if we wait until the Utah game. So we'll see. Oilers did beat Florida earlier this season. Remember, 6-3. Now that's with 2 empty netters. It was a 4-3 game. Was, I think, or the Oilers were up 4-1, then Florida got close, and then the Oilers scored 2 empty netters, McDavid and Savoy, in the final few minutes to win that game back in November. That was kind of in the midst of a funk. There was the Oilers. They found a way. They'd been brutal. They got spanked, I think, the night before in Tampa. Wasn't that the one they lost big time? Was that the 7-0 game, or maybe a 6-0? Forgetting they blend in which were the bad losses. But the Oilers were on a stretch there where they weren't playing very well. But then they managed to get that big win against the Florida Panthers. So you know that Florida, they've got a little extra juice going for them tonight. McDavid talked about it. Ekholm, they know what's at stake. They want to win. And I do want to listen to the Matt Tkachuk answer in regards to a team, because think about how many guys on that team have obviously played in the Stanley Cup Finals, played at the Four Nations, played at the Olympics, and now for the next 15 games, they got nothing to play for. And so I asked them about that and just the challenge to get up for games when you got nothing to shoot for.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. It's hard coming back for the first game after going to the Cup final, especially winning. Like it's always a little bit tough of an adjustment, but we have a certain expectation here. We have a certain culture set. You got to get up for these games. It's hard not to get up for this one, right? I mean, it's a team that we've played the last 2 years, but we've created something here that we don't want to ruin just by maybe not having our best year. So, I mean, we're all grinding through this together. It sucks. It's not ideal. The situation we're in is not good, but why not just enjoy your day? Why not come in here, work as hard as you can, try to get the win, and you can have a good night. Like, I mean, that's literally the mindset right now. We have 15 games left, and it's really all about not quitting on each other and giving everything we have. And, I mean, the results are going to be what the results are. We know what they're going to be, but at least we got to give everything we have for each other and, stick up for our goalies, that type of stuff.
You mentioned that it's easy to get up for a game like this. So in a way, maybe that's kind of a welcome game. It's a rivalry game. Obviously, the two teams might be a respect factor there, but there's a strong dislike there.
You just said it right there. There's a very big respect for each other going to the Cup Finals the last 2 years. But whenever that happens, it doesn't matter who you play in a playoff series. There's going to be dislike. And then when you play a team 2 years in a row, no matter what round, the dislike just seems to ramp up. So they've probably become our number one rival just because of the magnitude of the games and where we've played them and the intensity of the last two playoffs. So, great team over there, some incredible players. And, I'm sure they're going to be right back there this year.
Tkachuk just gave the Oilers a compliment. Oilers Nation's like, what? So, hey, you know what? He's actually a well-spoken guy. I know it's hard because Oilers fans can't stand him, and I get why. Like, I totally get why. Right? Like, if he's not on your team, he's an easy guy to hate. There's no question about it. And like I was talking to one of the Oilers today, and it was just like, man, like it said about Tkachuk. It's like, God, like you talk to guys around the league, like he is hated by lots of different players, but they admit like he's good, and he's good at being hated. Right? Like he knows how to rile you up. Choose on that stupid mouth guard. Like what was the line? Was it Cassian who said, he goes, he's just got a face that you want to punch. I thought that was a funny quote. Because, and he does it well. Now, he's a good player, but he knows, and what he does very well, which irritates a lot of people, is he's a little bit of a spot picker, right? He'll think back to when the Oilers game. Who did he fight? Ethan Bear. Yeah, and hey, Ethan Bear did pretty well for himself in that game, right? But he's not looking around. Oh, Darnell Nurse is on the no. Oh, where's Ethan Bear? Let me grab him, right? Like he knows the game. He knows how to really just irritate the what out of people, right? There's no debate on that. He does. So I look at what he's what he'll do tonight. He's going to be chirping. I'm sure Leon Draisaitl would have loved to play him. Now, I don't think what he said to Draisaitl, being the bridesmaid, like honestly, it's not going to bother you. Right? Like part of the game is if you can't play the game and accept chirping, like This is probably the first year at U13 that there was a little bit of it. And, some guys would get rattled on my team and said, hey, guys, like, as long as it's not racist or, sexist or anything, like, you got to learn there's some chirps. That's just going to happen in sports. People are going to get on your game, right? They're going to find something. Hey, nice skate blade. Hey, nice laces. You know how it was. You'd find lots of different things just to try to irritate the people. And so you got to learn to block it out. And it's hard, though. Anybody who's played at any level will admit that it's hard not to let it get to you. But Tkachuk's good at it. And like, if I'm the Oilers, man, now I get you don't want to be suspended. But how often do you get suspended for ragdolling a guy? Right? How often? You don't have to go full Cassian on him. But, you can get in there. You can get a few rabbit punches, stinky glove. Like, you can get after him. So, like, I look at the Oilers tonight, and I've gone through the lineup. Without Gadjevich, there's no real tough guy. Like, Greer's not that tough. Frederick will fight him. Frederick's not worried about him. Darnell Nurse, right? Like, Sam Bennett's, pretty rugged player. He's probably a better hitter necessarily than he is a fighter. Right? Connering has probably got to keep his head up. But they don't have like a really overly tough team dressed tonight. Like the Oilers, Connor Murphy can fight. Nurse can fight. Frederick can fight. Max Jones big enough. He knows he's not a great fighter, but he can do it. Right? Nugent, his weight class is more than good. Hyman can fight. Like they got enough guys. Podkolzin. Because you got what? You got Bennett. Tkachuk will kind of fight, but he's not that tough. So you got Bennett, you got Cunnin, you got Greer, Ekblad. That's really about it. So I'd want to go a little bit into the gutter tonight if I was the Edmonton Oilers. Because I think when you have those games, it also unifies your team. So there's a little bit of method to the madness for me. And I'll be curious to see how the game goes. Just because I've been thinking about it, it's probably going to be a snooze fest. There's not going to be a lot of emotion. Brutal. I know it's not going to be Stanley Cup, but there you go. And Greg's Bennett's pretty tough. Yeah, Bennett's tough, but he's not a great fighter. That's my point. Like, he's not like, is he tougher than Nurse? Is he a better fighter than Nurse? I don't think so. Right? Like, Greer's tough. He's not, I don't think he's like, Frederick's an okay fighter. He's not a great fighter. He's an okay fighter. But he's big and strong. He can handle himself, no problem. I would love to see it. Hey, Gregor, I think Brady's a bigger jerk than Matthew. Matthew's the whatever. No different than Marchand or Perry. Pests are pests. Well, Brady's definitely bigger and, better fighter for sure. I don't know if he's as good of a yapper, though. Matthew's way quicker with the barbs. Like, verbally, infinitely better. Right? And a better player. Overall, you look at their production. But Brady's bigger and tougher for sure. But I think Matthew might be better at the head games. Like, he's a really good chirper. He's witty. And that's hard to combat from some guys. Because I know lots of people who are really smart, but aren't necessarily witty in the chirping department, right? Like, they're really intelligent, but they don't have the quick wit. And man, quick wit is a skill. Brad Marchand's excellent at it. A few other guys who have it. I'm trying to think on the Oilers, like, who would be, like, they don't naturally have, like, Leon will be good guys, but he laughs. I don't know if they even really, I'd have to ask, but man, I can't think of the Oilers really having a chirper per se. We'll come back, get to a 2-minute warning with Cam Tate. Also, we'll hear from Matthias Ekholm as the Oilers just try to get that 3-game winning streak, trying to get some consistency, maybe sweep the homestand. We'll see. Wrap it up in the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, and give you an update on the out-of-town scoreboard. Some big games. Early scores are in. We'll tell you about it.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way. For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpot's Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
Every goal, every Selly. The place to cheer on your favorite team is Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge. Never a bad seat in the house with all games on tons of big screens. And Selly's menu, top shelf. Plus, check out the game night food and drink features. And don't miss the excitement of Oilers watch parties all season long. Experience Selly's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
The Price is Right Live is at the Brick. Come on down to any Brick location for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. They're giving away shopping sprees, mattresses, appliance packages, big screen TVs, and so much more. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who makes a purchase is a winner. The price is always right at the Brick. The Brick, saving you more. Conditions apply. See you in store for details.
You probably know Stingray for radio advertising.
What about digital advertising?
Yeah, we do that.
Connected TV?
We do that.
Search and social?
And that.
Programmatic? Digital out of home?
We do it all. Endless digital platforms to connect your business to more customers, to intrigue them, engage them, so they choose your product or service. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com and let us help your business grow. We are Stingray. That's what we do.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:45 on a Thursday afternoon, man. If you're a sports fan, which of course you are, you're listening to Sports 1440. Well, it's a great day for sports. Basketball all day long, NCAA March Madness, a huge night of the National Hockey League, some NBA games, but the races, the NBA races aren't really the same right now. There's a little bit more separation there. In the NHL, there's lots of teams battling out. Should be loads of fun. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, casino, live dealer, lottery, instant sports, all in one place. But if you do play, be sure to use your game sense. Stay within your limits. GameSenseAB.ca. As the early scores, NHL tonight, David Pasternak scoring. The Bruins lead the Jets 1-0 after the first period. And the Blue Jackets, Isaac Lundestrom, has just tied it. Zach Werenski with his 50th assist of the season. Rangers and the Blue Jackets knotted up at 1 late in the first. And intermission, the Islanders and Senators, no score in the first period. Red Wings and Canadians both with goose eggs through the first 17 minutes of that one. Later on, Kraken Preds. Suddenly, that's a big game. like a real big game for the Predators. They could tie Seattle, who's currently in the final wildcard spot. Now, if the Kings defeat the Flyers, then they'd move 2 points ahead of both the Kraken and the Nashville Predators. And then the Sharks would have 70 points, but they got a tough matchup tonight. They're hosting the Buffalo Sabres. The out-of-town scoreboard game that probably matters most to Oilers fans, that Mammoth Golden Knights game tonight. See if they can get a Utah win. If the Oilers win, then they'd move 3 points up on Vegas. It'd be bad. And they'd leapfrog Anaheim back in the first. Anaheim would have 2 games in hand. Let's get to the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home with no payments, no interest. For 1 year on your furnace or your AC. And you bundle them, save even more. LegacyHeating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam was suffers from cerebral palsy. Is in a wheelchair, never lets him slow him down, and he's always wanted to be on radio. And now we get him that opportunity in the 2-minute warning.
So, in your sporting life, I mean all your sporting life, have you ever, looked into the challenges, post-season challenges of the 1948-49 Toronto Maple Leafs? Let me share their journey with you. Captain Sil Apps retires. Nick Metz, gone. Wally Stanowski, traded. Owner Conn Smythe, Mr. Happy himself, says, can't replace him. Ouch. The team stumbles, scrapes, and barely claws into the playoffs. Fans, nervous wrecks on Church Street. But then, plot twist, they catch fire. Underdogs? Forget it. They bulldoze through the playoffs, defying every odd, and clinch their 3rd straight Stanley Cup. 3rd straight over there, Gregor. Legends lost, dynasty alive. It's the ultimate comeback story, the kind of magic only the Leafs could pull off. We all are sad, disappointed, angry, name your touchy-feely about Leon Draisaitl not playing in these important games. But we saw something in Oiler win. When was that? Monday? No, sorry, Tuesday. There you go. Tuesday against the San Jose Sharks. The Oilers needed a spark against San Jose. They found an inferno in their bottom 6. When the big guns sit, the working class stands up. A Tate tipster like that, Connor Halley, something new. A Tate tipster told the 2-minute warning they were at a coffee shop Wednesday morning. Leon Draisaitl's wife walked in. After taking her order, the person behind the counter asked if there was anything else. Mrs. Draisaitl said, just trying to cheer someone up. Florida Panthers tonight. If the Oilers get scoring throughout the lineup and win, someone, although he wishes he was on the ice, could very well cheer up. The 2-minute warning, Gregor, Halley, Kruger. I hope me mentioning you cheered you up. This is Cam Tate, Sports, 1440.
Well, there you go. So, Leon Draisaitl, the only way to make him feel a little bit better right now is more wins. And the Oilers are 1-0 so far without Leon Draisaitl to try to make it 2 tonight. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning and Nikita Kucherov. We will have an Art Ross trophy battle in town on Saturday night. McDavid with 115 points. Kucherov and McKinnon each with 111. Leon Draisaitl is 4th currently with 97. Unfortunately, Macklin Celebrini is going to pass him. Man, if Draisaitl doesn't get into another regular season game, he'd end up 3 points shy of his 7th 100-point season and his 5th consecutive 100-point season. Just brutal timing for him. Brutal timing. Evan Bouchard, another thing to watch. Bouchard at 78 points now. Needs 12 more to get to 90. Like 90-point defenseman, man, is pretty rare. I know Erik Karlsson got to 100. It's pretty damn good, but he is Bouchard's having a pretty good year. He's got a 9-point lead now on Werenski, Hudson, and Makar, although Werenski did get a point tonight, his 50th assist, so I think he's up to 70 points now. And a guy to watch for on Saturday, Darren Radish. For the last few years, Evan Bouchard, the Bouch bomb, as people call it, has had the hardest shot in the league. And well, some guys would beat him on like a one-shot harder one, but this year, Darren Radish has taken over as the guy with the most hard shots. He's had 77 90-to-1 mile an hour shots. Bouchard's at 43. He's in second place this season. So a little bit different. Now that seems low. I got to look at what Bouchard was last year now. Yeah, Bouchard's at 74 last year. So he's actually down quite a bit from 43 to 74. Obviously, he'll get up to over 50. But like Jake Wallman had 44 last year. He's obviously been hurt. Radish had 38, including 100 mile an hour. Like that guy can shoot the pill, man. Very much shoot the pill. Hey, Greg's question for you. Is there anybody that you remember from the past that reminds you like Kachuk? A lot of pests like Avery and Barnaby, but none of them were first-line players. Well, Brad Marchand would be one. He's currently active, but he would definitely be one. Claude Lemieux, I think, was pretty darn good, pretty skilled. He was more of a playoff guy, though. He didn't have great numbers in the regular season. Good, not great. Alec Burrows had a 4-year run with the Canucks when he played at the Sedins. He was on the top line. He was a pest. But he's also like 2-time 35 goal scorer. He was pretty good. I might go, if I was going back in time, another guy who, now, he was just, they called him the little ball of hate. Pat Verbeek was as aggressive. I don't know if I'd even put him in the pest category, but he's a pretty skilled player, man. Like, he scored 40 goals multiple times in his career. He ended up with over 500 goals, 1,000 points, and how about this? 2,900 penalty minutes. So he was definitely more of a pest. Like, he fought, he was aggressive. So yeah, I probably maybe couldn't even put him in the pest category. But as far as a player who was good, who racked up a ton of minutes, and Verbeek was not a big dude, man, but God, he played huge. He was like 5'9". The guy had 3 seasons of 200 plus penalty minutes and like another 10 seasons of 130 plus minutes, like, and 500 goals. That's like, imagine how many more goals he would have scored if it wasn't in the penalty box so much. Never know. Enjoy. We got the pregame show coming up next. Paulson and Walker. Let's get to the Conman Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy. LegacyHeating.ca. Good night.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers in action, hosting the Florida Panthers. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock down at Rogers Place. Pre-game coverage coming your way next with Andrew Walker on the ice. After 20 minutes, Jets trailed the Bruins 1-0. Blue Jackets up on the Rangers 2-1. Canadians, Red Wings, Sens, Islanders both scoreless, as are the Wild and the Blackhawks midway through the first. Later on tonight, Kraken take on the Preds. Canucks host the Lightning. Mammoth in Sin City. Sharks taking on the Sabres. And you got the Flyers in Los Angeles. In the association, right now, Hornets lead the Magic 50-37 in the second. Also in the second, Pistons up on the Wizards 46-37. Later tonight, East both the Lakers. Cavs in Chicago. Pelicans taking on the Clippers. Suns meet the Spurs. And it's the Bucks taking on the Jazz. March Madness in full swing right now at halftime. VCU trails North Carolina 39-28 in the first. Number 1 seed Michigan leading Howard 31-26, and BYU behind Texas 23-21. Earlier today, Duke surviving a scare against number 16 Piano, coming back to win 71-60.